up?
Where's Phil?
Where's Phil? Phil!
We hear you.
We're gonna give games, but like not high quality, but high quality, but like in your hands.
You're toxic.
I'm not toxic. It's just
Hey, welcome to Real Deal Xbox Podcast. I'm gonna be a little off today. I creaked my fucking neck. My neck is all fucked up right now from the gym.
Did you say you creaked?
I
Like
creaked.
I got creaked like a creaky shaft.
I probably crawled that bitch. Listen, we are live, and we do got to say thanks to everyone that's tuning into us. Seriously, guys, thank you for watching the show. Hit the like button. Tell everybody that you were live. Real Deal Xbox Podcast right now. Of course, we got the latest topics, the leaks, the non-leaks, and of course, a really, really good panel. Bonzarelli is at his son's graduation this week, so he'll be back next week, just for those that are curious. And of course, let us know your thought. Of course, 50 more times. We're going to do some intros, some shout-outs. Zach, another week, another podcast, bud.
Yeah, good to be here. I'm excited. We have a lot of topics. Tomorrow is going to be fucking awesome. We have the Sony show. Thursday, we have the Skulls show for Warhammer, where they're going to talk about all their games. And then also this Thursday, I'm kicking off that Zealots of Gaming podcast with Hargeet and Shady.
Is it going to have skulls and bones on it?
I mean, we're going to have skulls and bones, but it hopefully not going to get delayed. You know, I hope. You know, you just never know.
It's going to be trash.
It like that game, probably. But
I was talking about the game, but all right.
No, I get what you're saying. You're a bitch.
I was really talking about the game, but hey, you know, you heard it from the guy himself.
Well, I'm about to creak your other neck, bitch.
Hey, we also got D-Bash Brother, another week in the show.
Yeah, man, we got some great topics. Yeah, man, let's just get on with it. We got a good show today, man.
Shout out to everyone in the chat, too. I wish I could read all these right now, but Hargy, another week in the show, brother. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, another week and the ongoing saga of Microsoft buys ABK. Always something going on there. Oh, and there's other game stuff going on too.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on. And then we've also got Infinite Umbra. Thanks for joining us, man. He's the host of the Fix. He works at IGN now. Now shout out to Umbra, man. Thanks for coming on. It's always good to have you.
Hey, it's good to be here again. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I had a thought, like, I hope they don't try to sue me.
They will. If it goes anywhere, they will.
Put a cease and desist. Hey, change the name of that. All right.
Stop fixing shit.
I'm gonna change it to the mix. I'm not gonna put too much effort into it. Hey, no, it's good to be here with you guys. Had to step away from Planet of Lana, man, but I'm enjoying it too. But D, I know I heard how quick you were like, hey, let's just get this over with. D wants to get back to Star Wars. I hear it in you.
And that's all I've been playing. Like, I thought I had a decent amount of time, and then you know, some of these other guys like, I got 5-6 days in it already. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I got a lot. That's pretty much all I'm playing. So again, we got some Star Wars footage here for you, running on whatever patch did or didn't break the game more or less, depending on what week's happening and what's on and what's not on. It's on Series X, so enjoy or don't enjoy. But it is much better with VRR. It's my first time really playing it with VR recently, and holy shit, what a different experience. But we'll maybe come back to that. Let me do some some shout outs here. We got Holy Dark Death. We got Habe Lincoln, Meat Public 77, The Dark Knight, Randall Bone 19, Coors, Ken 66, Galveston, Calypso, Boba, Fierce Fuzz, Hargeet, Sean Dasley, Dub Mobile, Ricky Fallon, Fault Lines, as well as Nano Polymath, Zordan, KY Bob, Assassin Loop, Foreign Object, Teo, Beck Boss, Suicide Kings, Tasteless Genie, Michael Boeing, Guillermo Cavillo, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. That list updates around the 5th of every month. Check out the link down below if you happen to give a fuck. And, of course, we got an interesting topic of the day. And I didn't double check. I guess I should. Someone say something.
I'm talking shit to Thizpain in the chat.
Okay.
That's something.
All right. Well, just let Thiz know so he knows what's going on. But interesting topic of today. Somerville. I'm going to kind of start with this. We got a lot of great topics, but this one surprised me because Somerville is made by the guys that made Limbo, Inside 90 plus meta. Amazing game, one of the most memorable 4-hour games I probably will ever play. And Somerville comes out, and it doesn't get so hot reviews. Hargeet tells me that, you know, the studio, those guys apparently split up. You know, one of them took the kids, the other one took the dog. And this game didn't come out with quite the reception. It's in the, I think it's 60s, right? In the Metascore.
Open Critic 71, but yeah, it's like, depending on platform, it's in the 60s, yeah.
And that's unfortunate. Now, I never got as far into this as I thought I might. I still plan on going back and beating this game. But the developer came out and basically blamed Game Pass for some poor sales. And Really, it made me lose a little bit of respect for some of the guys there, because how can you possibly know that when you just came out with your lowest rated title ever? You don't factor those things in, and it kind of just looks like you're looking for a scapegoat at that point. What are your thoughts on that, Hargeet?
Yeah, I mean, you have to read into what they actually said, right? So, like, he said it hurts sales because of the way he likes to do things, right? So, because people will just try it out, and if it doesn't hit in the first 10 minutes, they won't,
Mhm.
continue. And that's fair. And he's saying, well, now I have to make the first 10 minutes amazing. Well, yeah, you should, right? And so his thought was like, hey, no, I can just give you a trailer and hook you, and you have to spend your dollars, and then I've got you. Too bad. Now you bought the game. Now you're gonna play it,
Mhm.
right? And that he likes that model. But again, it wasn't like a rebuke. It was just like in his thoughts, he's like, well, now I have to kind of make the game actually resonate. Just like if you watch something on Netflix, it's like if this doesn't resonate for the first 10, 15 minutes, I'm just gonna go move on to the next thing because there's so much stuff that I can watch, right?
Mhm.
So,
Right.
and that's kind of the model with Game Pass, right? You gotta hook players and say, okay, this is gonna be something I want to invest my time
But
in.
that does tell you that
Uh,
he was banking on a lot of, hey, I'm playing this and I want to buy this sales, which means they must be
Yeah, literally.
substantial.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? And the previous games, to be fair, they were good, and they did hook people even without like the 10 minutes was good, and the trailer wasn't specifically the only thing that mattered. There was a lot of word of mouth, and that's one of the things that happens here, right? So, yes, it could have potentially gone if it was like an 85-90 meta. It could have gotten more engagement, but it wasn't, and a lot of people tried it, and it really didn't hook them. And so it wasn't a terrible game. I did finish the game, but it definitely didn't have the same feel as the other two.
Mhm.
But again, this is what you get, right? And you also have more games coming out. When they had the first two, Limbo and Inside, there weren't as many games. Now things like there's games coming out like every 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So they have to get people's attention. If you're in a subscription service, there's that many other games available to people.
Yeah.
I think this was just him rambling as part of like an interview, and it's been totally like taken as he hates Game Pass. He thinks no, he says, I think Game Pass is okay. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the old premium model, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough, but ultimately he realizes that look, in this model, I have to adapt and make the game hook you, right? And
Let's
that's a
call it
good
what
thing.
it is.
That's
He
what they
doesn't
should do.
care for Game Pass. You can tell. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
care for Game
so-
Pass. He's not going to say I dislike Game Pass or hate this Game Pass. He just took a massive payout to throw his game into there, right? Which he agreed to, obviously, for a
course, yeah.
reason.
And I'm sure
Hell,
there
he
was a
flat
like,
out says it. He says, "Hey,
Yeah, and-
I think Game Pass is okay. It's not my favorite." He says.
Yeah,
'cause
which is
I
go
assume
for.
there
I
was,
really
like-
don't like that shit.
I assume they had pay for engagement, right? So, and 10 minutes is probably there for a reason, right? So that if
Mhm.
somebody plays it for more than 10 minutes, you get X amount more, right? I'm sure there's something about that 10 minutes.
Well,
So
I don't know about that 10-minute thing because I played the game too. I think I got every single achievement in the damn game, and the first 10 minutes of that game are fucking boring. Like it doesn't hook you. It just you're kind of sitting there with a baby, then you are a baby, and then you're walking around as a baby.
Spoilers.
And then no, just the first 10
No, that's
minutes
what Hargy's
wasn't
saying
that
though. Like
great.
he's saying that the 10 minutes didn't hook, right? And that's the
Well,
problem.
no, he was saying that
exactly.
you need to get it in the first 10 minutes for something like this, right? And then he's saying that the other stuff is more trailer driven, where, yeah, you put the money in and it doesn't matter. You're here. You're in. It doesn't matter if I do this in 10 minutes, and 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. You bought the game. I got you.
Yeah.
For Game Pass, he was saying, oh, the first 10 minutes needs to kind of get you, or there's so many other options that you're just going to move on. And the
mean,
first 10 minutes of that game were, and I really enjoyed those games. I thought they were really well done, but I don't get the whole sentiment that he's going off of right now.
Yeah, it's
I don't
kind of weird.
understand this.
It's
It
kinda
is
weird.
very
The beard
weird.
is weird.
Yeah.
No, it's not just the beard is weird, but his whole fucking thing is weird, where it's like you just took a bunch of money and maybe your game didn't review as well, and then you go and focus on, I don't know, Game Pass, something that probably had more people play your game than ever, and you're sitting there going, well, I just don't like it. Well, how about you don't like what Metascore you got and maybe do a little bit better? How about that? Like,
Savage.
I
what?
agree.
I
Yeah.
think the effect of this is that if the game's obviously not getting great reviews, but regardless, because of the reputation, I think he probably would have made more money because people would have bought the game and he would have got more money up front, and they would have just said, yeah, the game sucks, whatever. I think he should be more focusing on a game that continues to keep you engaged. I think that was obviously the problem because there's Hi-Fi Rush, there's people that bought that game. Like there's other games that come out on Game Pass and that people buy it from the word of mouth. So if you have a good game it should sell its should
Mhm.
sell itself. So I don't know. I think it's just an unfortunate situation for him. I didn't see the interview, so Zucker's kind of alluding to that people are taking it out of context. So I don't know. I gotta see it for
No,
myself.
I think it's kind of like Hargeet kind of summed it up though. Like he's not trashing Game Pass, but he's also trying to scapegoat it. Like Dealer pointed out.
Yeah.
The thing of it is I played that game to completion. I got all the achievements. He talk about the 10 minutes. I think that's the least of his worries. The entire game is boring as hell.
Oh shit!
And it's not long either. You could probably beat it in 2 hours, maybe 3.
I think
It's
it would
not
have been far worse
and
had they
I'm
not
not
put
gonna
in Game
even-
Pass, because word of mouth is what carried Limbo. It's what
Yeah.
carried inside to a large extent. And this game, again, nobody really is saying those same things. As Hargeet mentioned before the show, the studio apparently had some kind of breakup, right? So I don't know what's
It's
going
not
on there,
just
but I
a
think you're right,
breakup,
Umber.
it's different. It's the same type of game as come out at higher levels of just good
Quality.
Like if
Yeah.
you look at the quality of Ori, right? Like it's kind of side, it's all that. You look at
That's not the same
Benedict,
type of game.
well, no, I'm just saying when you're going left to right, like
Yeah,
there's a lot of
side-scrolling.
games out there, side scrollers that are out there that are pushing the boundaries of what they can do in those games.
Mhm.
And I get that
Yeah.
this is a little bit more slower, and I understand that, but I'm not going to sit it out there and like damage control for Game Pass. Like a lot of developers have talked about this. One on this podcast where they were
Uh-oh.
like, Game Pass sounds great, and we're just worried that like if we take a payout from Microsoft, what if it sells X amount of units and we missed out on $2 million? Like right for a small studio like
Can
that.
everyone still hear us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
think
don't
so.
know.
Are we getting some kind of bit stream?
Can you all hear us?
let
there?
us know if y'all can hear us? Okay.
I think they can.
I would tell
well,
you-
I mean, it's
I would
telling me
be-
that there's a current bit rate, blah blah blah. It's doing the same bullshit, right? But it's not giving me that on OBS now. So
It's fine.
let us know, chat. And by the way, shout out to almost 800 people already here. We started about 10 minutes late. We do appreciate you. Hit the like button, tell everybody you were live. And Umber, go ahead and wrap this one up.
I was just going to say I would be pissed if I actually paid money for this. I'll tell you that right now. So he's talking about he prefers that old model.
Yeah.
I am grateful we have Game Pass because if I'd bought this, I would never buy anything else from them again.
But well, how much are they charging for it?
I'm guessing it probably 30. I would have to look, but that's probably 30 too much, I would say.
That's
let me
real
look
harsh
here.
right now.
Yeah.
That's real harsh at that guy right there. You know what? Doesn't have 30 minutes of co-op.
I can't even see the goddamn. I think it's buy to own for $27.49, and it's on
Oh.
sale for 21, and then it's on cloud gaming.
I was right.
$30.
Yeah.
30 bucks, but it's also been
30
out
too
for a
much.
little while, and it's got a 3 out of 5 stars on Xbox reviews.
I think that's about fair. I think it's about a 65 maybe.
Calorie,
You
big
read
shout out
that.
to you. Says stream quality is bitrate seems low, but audio's still there. That's all that matters. I just want you guys to be able to hear and not have any interruptions and stuff. But again, I was going to kind of jump into Spider-Man real quick. This is news that hit recently. And this is after months and months of people speculating to be co-op. There's actually a big fan uproar over this. There's no co-op in Spider-Man 2. And again, I don't know why some people are so dead set on this actually being a thing. They're actually pissed about this. It's kind of surprising to me. But the developer said no, it's kind of focusing on
Sony
being a great
fans?
single-player
Really?
story.
Sony fans are pissed off about not having co-op.
That is weird. They're not used to co-op, are they? They
They're
didn't know what
not
that is.
exactly. That's not a thing. Like what? So,
Now, be
just
honest,
like
though, Hargy.
Xbox
It would have
fans
been cool.
said-
It would have been cool if it had
Oh,
co-op.
I think it would be great. Yes, but this is Sony. They don't do that. This is a single-player sad dad walking simulator.
Stop
company.
it.
So they're not gonna do that.
Oh,
So I
fuck.
just don't see it. Like they bought Bungie. Bungie certainly does co-op, but are they expecting Bungie to infect the other studios? You should make multiplayer. Like I don't know, man.
Man, why? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Spider-Man 2 would probably be a great product if they're previous or anything to go off of. But no co-op. I'm not super surprised by this at all. I'm kind of Zachary. Did you see some of the uproar on some of the negativity?
I did see some uproar, and it comes from the trailer, right? Like the trailer came out, it was, had Miles Morales and Peter Parker fighting together, doing combos together. So people were like, yo, is this going to have co-op? And kind of like Hargeet said, there's, people are starving over there for anything co-op to play with a friend. But I always looked at it like, yeah, there might be a potential for co-op. Like, who knows? Somniac might want to push something a little different. And then when they said nope, and it's an epic single player adventure game, and that's what they said is an epic game, it's like cool. And then maybe it's gonna have the kind of like what Sony's had for a little while now, right? With God of War and a couple other games where it's companions helping each other. Maybe Miles is a companion at a time, or certain people are going to be companions, and you fight. And there's a lot of stuff going around right now, and Spider-Man with the metaverse, the new Spider-Man animated multiverse movie, whatever's coming out, Spider-Verse. So who knows, man? I mean, I know a lot of people make fun of the game. I'm just excited to see it. I don't give a shit. Everybody was all mad. They're like, "Hey, it doesn't have it." I'm like, I don't care, dude. I'm gonna play the shit out of this game. I beat the freaking first one like 3 or 4 times.
I didn't expect,
Like,
again,
let's
I
just
didn't
get
really expect it.
I didn't expect it either. I just was like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's all people talking about. I was like, that'd be cool. I'd be able to play with someone.
Good.
So it has companions, but the more
I
important
don't-
question: does it have bow and arrow?
Oh shit.
I don't know. When
Pretty
I was
hard to
looking
talk
at
shit.
the comments, I'm just gonna be honest on this. I kind of noticed there was a lot of Xbox guys that were saying that, oh, it doesn't have co-op. I don't think the Sony gamers were expecting it to have fucking co-op. There might be a small minority that were hoping, but we've played the other games, and like we've had 2 Spider-Mans in the last game. Nobody was really expecting this game to be co-op.
That's why I was surprised, because there's actual diehard Sony guys I've seen on Twitter like that were mad about this. Of all things, right?
I didn't see those ones, but regardless, like if you're expecting co-op, I don't know. That's foolish. Would it be nice for it to have co-op? Yeah, and maybe that's something they can consider in the future with some type of DLC. But you know how Sony likes to do their single player campaigns. They kind of like it to be smooth, where they can like, you know, drive the pace and stuff, and not have to worry about technical issues. So yeah.
No, yeah.
Single player is
I
what
was
it
pretty
is.
sure.
I'm
I'm
looking
pretty
forward
sure
to
it
it.
was. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of Xbox fans making fun of that shit.
It was.
Like
I
it was a
saw
lot of
Xbox
Xbox
guys.
fans making fun of the co-op thing, saying that they don't have any, and
Yeah.
Sony fans like they don't give a shit. Like
Some of
I've
them do.
never,
Some of them do.
I've
I
never
did see a
seen
few.
them.
I saw a few
actually
Hoove
care.
brothers. I saw a few
I wouldn't
Hoove
be
brothers
surprised.
a little upset by it, but
A few
the thing
what?
is, I call
Hoove brothers.
I call them the Hoove brothers.
What the
You're so
All right.
stupid, bro.
The hooved on the.
I forgot you all didn't know I
Sony
said
hate
that.
it.
I'm just surprised we see any Sony fans at all complaining about it, you know, personally. But I've seen a good 4 or 5 radical accounts that normally damage control
Yeah.
stuff that are actually kind of upset about this. So
I saw it too.
yeah, it's
You know, the
interesting.
thing about it is like it's like D and everybody else said those. Like they said this what, a year or 2 ago. Like we knew this already.
Yeah.
I didn't understand when I saw it pop back up. I'm like, did something change that I didn't know about?
Maybe
So,
maybe it's the way they said it. Like we're not doing that so we can focus on making an epic single player campaign or whatever.
Right.
But,
yeah.
no,
I will say I think they missed an opportunity though. Like Zalka was saying, I wouldn't have it where they're companions, but I would have it where kind of like GTA 5, where you get to switch on to whichever character on the fly. I would do something like that. I think that would be pretty dope. Like if you can be swinging around as Peter, doing your thing, and then switch around, where Miles is at somewhere else around New York. I think that would be pretty dope. if
Chilling,
they had
eating a
it that way.
burrito and shit in the corner. Like,
Right.
like, hey, oh shit, I gotta put my mask on. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a missed opportunity. I think that they're gonna I think they're gonna make something fucking epic.
It's
I
gonna
have
be
full,
dope.
I have full
Yeah.
faith in them. That's
No, I agree with
Insomniac
you
is it's some reason Insomniac just gets shit done. They
They do.
they bought them for like $8, and they brought out like so many
Plus
games
X.
comparatively.
I
to
hear they're
anything.
making Fuse too.
Like I just saying, man. Like I don't know, Insomniac just kills it, and I'm looking forward to the show. I'm looking forward to that, and I think we should skip. I see the topics, but I think we should skip since we are talking about Sony. I think we should go into this big old like I don't know if you guys got the slides from Jim Ryan and Hurst. And
I don't give a
Herman
fuck what
Hulst.
you think we should skip. Damn it!
I don't give a fuck
You
what
know
you
what?
think.
You know
How
what we're
about
gonna do? You know what we're gonna do, Zach? We're gonna do the opposite of that shit. And we're actually gonna talk about not Sony right now. Spider-Man 2 looks good though. And again, chat, let us know if you are excited for Spider-Man 2. A lot of people don't think it's gonna come out anytime soon. They've been working on this for years, and that Miles Morales really was not, that wasn't a full effort, right? So it's not a traditional development cycle between that and this. So hopefully, I noticed Star Wars is doing it right. They got those Arkham Knight, dual companion takedown moments. I'm guessing Spider-Man is gonna be doing a similar thing. But somebody's going to have to take the plunge and implement full game co-op, the way that people that might be looking for that would want. And I think even more so, Grand Theft Auto 6, which is also a topic later in the show, that Grand Theft Auto 5 should have had co-op from the beginning anyway. You got 3 characters, right? That should have had full-blown co-op to begin with, in my opinion. Hopefully they do that with the next one, right? Because co-op is something that has been it's just taking a dive. Like, there's not enough co-op games, in my opinion. There need to be more. So hopefully developers figure that out, and I don't even care if you got to be the same guy. Just give them different pants. I don't give a shit. Like we've all done that in Master Chief Collection, Halo, right? We're the same damn thing. We're just running around. Who cares? We're having fun. Maybe make that an option. That would be nice. But you know, Zachary, I guess okay. Go ahead and go into the PlayStation stuff you're talking about. I want to get to Forza and all this other stuff too. But they like PC now. They like it a lot.
I mean, they like a lot of stuff. They're talking console growth, portfolio expansion, like collaboration with movies, and then they go into PC. It's insane like how much they're going. And then they also put like charts of how the PS5 hardware is trending way more than the PS4, like in demand wise. And their gaming is just going up. And they also have like opportunities. So they have strong existing portfolios. I'm looking directly at their slides. Somebody sent it to me. And then they got great upcoming releases like Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, and then they have marketing deals with Avatar, Tekken, Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, Crash Team Rumble, Baldur's Gate 3, Silent Hill, and Suicide Squad. So they went out and grabbed a lot of yeah, they got Suicide Squad. Lol. But they're really looking forward to like the big PC push, which they're expecting a lot of money coming from PC, which is insane. And I think I'm trying to find the one slide where it shows. I think
Herman Hulse was saying PC has grown to be a substantial part of their portfolio or their business, their PlayStation business. And
yeah, they expect
down on
400. That. Yeah, fiscal year 2023, they expect $450 million in PC revenue alone. They sold over like 400,000 PC units of The Last of Us in 1 month. The Spider-Man remastered is almost at 2 million on PC alone, has generated like 52 million. Like they're just going all out. And then they also, funny enough, have a mobile strategy, establish foundations for growth in mobile, building a worldwide class publishing team, establishing internal capabilities, co-developing top IT with industry leaders. Like they are evolving their first party portfolio. And this is
all of this
is reminiscent. Dude, like
right now.
And this is right now it's like that. And I will say that they are going hard. Like there is an email that came out, I think it was last week. Basically after the EU approved the ABK deal, Jim Ryan put out an email to the team, to like Sony's teams, and said, our mission is to get market share and make noise. That's our mission now.
Basically,
after
just be fuckface is a translation.
Yeah, basically just like grab everything you can, and then make noise. Like they're just gonna grab third-party deals, something that Hargit and I talked about before. They're just not gonna fuck around, man. So expect that. And hey, competition is king.
And what I've been saying on this damn show, like when it comes to strategy and what Jim Ryan is gonna do, he's gonna sneak through Phil Spencer's bedroom window and steal his diary. And he's going to read everything Phil said. Today we got shit running on PC. It's pretty cool. Jim Ryan's reading, oh, we need to do that shit. It's just step by step, obvious common sense. Hey, let's just do what Microsoft are doing because they're doing it for a reason, which is we like money. And they're seeing the results, right? Spider-Man, you said 52 million.
I would say they're not doing that. I would say that
they're definitely doing that.
I say they're doing some parts of what Microsoft is doing, but they're also doing something that Microsoft isn't doing, which is grabbing third-party deals and then marketing deals and making them insanely exclusive and shit like that. That is something that Phil Spencer even said. It's hard when the competition takes things away from us. And he's like, but that's not your fault. That's something we need to deal with. And it's like, bro.
He said that,
no, I'm just saying, like, if he read his diary, he's copying everything that Phil's basically said that they've done, right? And in addition to that, they might have more exclusive or high-profile marketing deals, but at the end of the day, they've both done that shit. That's nothing new.
One thing that I did see circulating was their PC release dates. They're basically okay with staggering the games
for now.
So yeah, I think they should be doing day and date, but I just got to be honest. I don't think we're gonna see it in the next year. I think the games are gonna come a little bit quicker. Like I don't think they'll be as long, but it doesn't look like they're pushing for day and date for the majority of their titles anytime soon, at least with the press release that they put out. So that was a little bit.
Well, Herman Hulse did say that games that are online will be probably coming day and date, right? Like, because they need to get an established like team or whatever, like crowd on it. So that's something that I think is going to change. I think single player games most likely won't because they're just going to optimize it for crazy on the PS5. But games like Factions, like maybe that comes out like day and date on PC with PlayStation 5. Yeah. And so they can create an online community that funds the game.
What the fuck?
No, I agree with you there. I think they'll obviously try to maximize with the gas games, but yeah, single player is not coming anytime soon. They're still trying to hold off on that so they can maximize profits on PS5 and then go to PC still. I guess it's working.
Big shout out to Matt McDonald Media. He says Insomniac did confirm the single player aspect of Spider-Man. Yeah, a couple years ago. You're right, man. Absolutely. But that's why I was even more surprised to see people that were upset about this. Elemental PO, man, shout out to you, says if Spider-Man was a side scroller. Yeah. Have they ever made, they made a side, that's how the shit started out, wasn't it? The side scroller on the Super Nintendo, wasn't it? They made that game for you, Elemental PO. He said it would have co-op like Rescue Rangers. Yeah, it probably would. Hargy, if you want to grab these, man, we can kind of get ready for the next topic here. But again, bro, what's your final thoughts on this whole Herman Holst, PlayStation taking this approach, and how fast do you think they'll adapt a lot of these things?
I think Herman Holst sounds like a James Bond villain name. Wait. Talking about the topic at hand. No, I mean, I think it's smart, man. I think they're doing what they do. It's weird in a way that, not weird, but it's kind of odd, I guess, seeing PlayStation continue with the traditional model. So you get to see all these things from them, and we get none of that on Xbox side of things. You know what I mean? So it's, I see it and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But at the same time, I don't care about their financials either. So it's like whatever for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it does inform us. I mean, you all saw what they said about the PSVR 2 as well, right?
Yeah, that's in the slides too.
He said it's trash.
And it's a unique it's a unique experience, and that the strong PlayStation VR launch, it's a better launch, like by 8% from the previous ones, almost 10% better 6 weeks into the launch.
Yep.
And they got more games to come, like Rise of the Ghost Lord, some Ghostbusters game, Beat Saber, some Resident Evil 4, Green Hell or something, Behemoth. There's a couple games that they have in development. And then a lot of their other PS5 accessories were huge. Like the headphones is like 99% up growth, and so is like the DualSense Edge is like 60. So they're just reporting very well, and that's whatever.
There was also a chart apparently that showed that PlayStation was outselling Xbox again by 4-1 apparently.
In what territory?
Yeah, on some what was that, VG charts? I guess not. You can't quite.
Is Sony using VG charts?
No, from this last quarter, because the Series X wasn't available, and then the Series S has like dipped a lot in sales.
Mm-hmm.
No, everybody wants a Series X. They're like, all right, the people that were going to get a Series S got one. Basically, is what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's not enough Series X's out there, and the PS5 like went insane this last quarter and outsold them. Like, was it 4 or even 6-1 just this quarter alone?
And that's something Bill has actually talked about. That's how you know it is the case. Like, hey, we messed up on the strategy. We thought that we should have done the opposite, right? And just didn't work out that way. But yeah, Sony are on fire right now, and I'm not surprised. I think a lot of people underestimate the name, just the brand power that the fucking name holds, right? I don't know too many companies that could get away with some of the stuff that they've gotten away with, and nobody says shit about it. A lot of times, right? So,
like them only having one AAA game this year.
Well, I mean, we don't know that, Umbra.
Yeah, we don't even know that for sure.
Why are you saying that, Umbra?
I do suspect that Factions might release this year, though. I do suspect.
I mean, at least they have one. Look at last year. Fuck.
We had Pentiment, bitch.
That's true.
Don't you dare.
Hargy, you want to grab
your ass back to 1700 and enjoy.
you want to grab Patrick B and down here. We got a few chats here we're gonna get to.
Yep, Patrick B, 10 pounds. I'm sure most upcoming PS5 games will be amazing, and as a normal gamer, I want this for Xbox too. We shouldn't listen to psychos. I'll be playing Tears of the Kingdom on my way to European Fan Fest.
What's the last Xbox game you played, Patrick? That's what I want to know. But yeah, you're right. If that's why we're not trying to needlessly bash stuff. Yeah, he's probably talking shit about Redfall in last week's chat or one before that. Shout out to Patrick though, man. More power to you.
Space Dovahkiin, member for 17 months. Just RDX.
He's got the emojis.
Yep. Lord Starkiller XSX01, $5. Fully expect firm release date for Spider-Man 2 at the PS Showcase. PSVR 2 will also be there to show off the next games for PSVR 2. Good luck with that.
Yeah, just strap the headset to the camera and you're good to go. That'll be a tough one to show. But hey, shout out to Lord Starkiller, long-time listener of the show. And shout out to 1,000 people already listening to this live, guys. Hit the like button, tell everybody you were live. If you haven't, let us know your thoughts down below as we do move forward. Now, I have it on good authority that Mortal Kombat 1 is the thing again. I did want to bring this up because this is kind of confusing. Mortal Kombat 1 is a game that promises to be extremely fucking gory. Like, almost it's hyper realistic, really. The stuff they're doing with Unreal, I'm pretty sure they're still using this engine,
man.
is incredible. But I'm thrown off by the damn name, D-Batch. Why'd you name it that?
I don't know, man, but I saw the trailer for it, and it was ultra gory, and the graphics. At first, I was like, "Is this like a cutscene?"
Yeah.
And I kind of went into the gameplay. It's like, "Holy shit, this is the gameplay, man!" And then I remembered the last game was really realistic as well. So you could just imagine the quality of this one, right? And just the gore in it was just excessive, man.
So stuff,
You know, with 11, right? The end of 11, and this is kind of how it actually goes into 1.
I don't care how they damage control it. Like, I don't know what the fuck how it's called. This again.
So story wise, I think that it's a stand, like they're rebooting it. That it's a new way of doing the story. I don't think you need to play the previous ones. I could be freaking wrong. That's what I thought
pretty sure
it was.
The guy
what
from
I
the end
saw.
of the last Mortal Kombat is in the trailer.
From what it looks like Liu Kang has those godlike powers.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in years, but I do know a bit about it in that Liu Kang has those godlike powers, so he looks like he reverted time back.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
think there is
still
something to it.
He probably
Yeah,
did. Actually, that's a good way of looking at it. Because I beat
People in the
11
people in
and
the
after
chat are
Aftermath.
saying they reset time. MK equals reboot.
Oh yeah. There you go.
So
So
I
we're
mean,
back to
I don't play a lot of fighting games, but NetherRealm, these guys, I play every single one of them. Man, Mortal Kombat's freaking awesome. Injustice is amazing. Yeah.
Speaking of,
this looks
was
great.
Injustice out last, or was it Mortal Kombat? I don't remember.
It was
I think
Mortal
it
Kombat.
was
So
Mortal
they just
Kombat.
so they just skipped Injustice this time.
Yeah.
Well, there's not much story to tell. Injustice, written by Tom Taylor, was a comic book, and that
Yeah.
they got to the end.
That
of
don't mean
so-
shit. You know that the DC fighting game, like they would find a different way to do it, right? Like they always do.
I'm good. I don't want NetherRealm to handle that. It's like that's Tom Taylor shit. If he doesn't have anything else to tell, move on from it.
Call it DC versus Capcom. Remember that?
I'd make it. I'd
That
do
was
it
Marvel versus
deceased.
Capcom.
DC versus
Do it
Marvel.
deceased, man. The big ass zombie event that they had that was insanely fucking gory and cool. Tom Taylor wrote that shit. Make that, then have fun. If you want gore in DC games, that's how you do it, right there.
Well, Mortal Kombat 1, I'd like to know more about what that trailer is, if it is pre-rendered, all that stuff. They kind of showcased some of the supposed fatalities, and it looks incredible. If they're doing that kind of stuff in real time, that looks really, really, really good. Speaking of really, really, really good, what's not really good is there's some rumors coming out. I think this is from Special Nick. I'm not sure. Which I have talked to him in DMs. And maybe we'll talk again. Just let me know, Nick. But I guess people are running with that the media are not going to give Starfield any good reviews because it's Xbox. Is basically what I've been told. I don't know how much that's out of context or whatever, but maybe you guys are a little bit more in on it. Is Starfield going to be a 7 because it's Microsoft?
I wouldn't put it
No.
past them.
Really?
No.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I just
think
can't
they'll-
buy it, man. I can't
Probably
buy
an 8. Probably an 8. But I think they will try to give it the old Xbox tax.
it. Xbox tax.
Yeah, they'll try to tax
Oh,
it.
God.
Because if this game was on all platforms, I think you'd be seeing almost similar scores that you saw with Skyrim.
What?
96. I think Skyrim was a 96, if I'm not mistaken. I think you'll be seeing
Like that,
similar
94
scores.
maybe.
But
it was in
Fallout
that
4
range.
was on all platforms, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Fallout 4 wasn't as good as Skyrim.
But
to
how
be
do you know
fair.
this
Yeah,
game
that
will
was
be?
like an 88 or something like that, right? Fallout 4.
Yeah, somewhere around
I
there.
feel
86.
like they're revitalized on this dealer. I think I'm being honest. Like you see them talking about it, man. You see they got their A team on it. Todd Howard's like, we're gonna make up for what we did with.
Said, I'm
76."
sorry, but I'm sorry 16 times over.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yep.
Ooh.
So you're thinking this should be a 96 legitimately if it were multi-plat. Chat, let us know what you think.
I honestly think if it was multi-plat, the game would score higher. I think because it's going to be just on Xbox and whatever PC. I think they're going to be a bit biased against it. I don't know how that's going to bear out, but yeah.
That would be assuming that some of these outlets, are biased, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
They're towards Sony, and I don't want to be so tinfoil hat with this. I think that the game is
He
going to
said
be.
you tinfoil hat, Amber. You little tinfoil hat wearing bitch.
I borrowed it from Everborn.
Put that back on everyone's head.
I think the game's gonna have scrutiny, especially after the Redfall launch for sure. So they're gonna look at it a little bit more closely than other games. But if the game is good and relatively not broken at launch, I think it has a fair shot. It's Bethesda. It's Tom Howard. it's got a lot of hype behind it, and I just think it just needs to deliver and just be a good game. I think it'll be a fair score. And out if it's the way I envision the game to be, like how they've shown it so far, and there's no major bugs, and we have like a 60 FPS game mode, I see this doing at least a
You
90.
need to stop saying that there's not any bugs, bro. This is gonna have bugs. It's Bugthesda.
He's talking about
I mean?
game-breaking
like
bugs.
any like major bugs, like
Yeah, like
major
game breaking
bugs.
things. With
Yeah.
Veggie, that's the thing. Like you're putting the caveats in, right? That's the problem. It's not specifically just that it's Microsoft or Xbox. It's because it's a platform and there's an expectation of the platform to give you something more, and the pressure is on because of the history of Xbox, right? It just is what it is. Unfairly, I think, to Starfield. If this was just Bethesda on its own putting out a game, I think it would review
I just
like
I don't.
I can't buy it. I
buy
think
that.
everybody
I
got
don't
to
buy that
remember that
shit.
Knack is in the 50s. Like Sony have so many games that reviewed
No,
like
no, fair
shit.
enough.
And there are
that's
so
the
many,
point
like,
out.
it's not like media bias like everyone's always running with.
We
It's
just
not
literally
just
had a
bias, it's just
whole
the reality,
segment.
right?
We just
Like
had a whole
Knack might have
segment.
been a 7 or 8 if it wasn't because it's Sony, right? You have to also look at it from that perspective, right? There's just an expectation when you're a platform holder.
So Knack
that
would have
you
been
will be
a
better.
70 instead of a 50 if it was on Xbox as well.
Well, no, I think it would have been the same if it was Xbox or Nintendo or PlayStation. There's just an expectation of a platform holder because they're a platform holder, and I think that just unfortunately works against.
Oh, you're saying if it's
Against
exclusive to any of those.
I don't even know if it's exclusive. I think it's just if it's first party, it just has more. Like there's just more scrutiny. It is what it is.
I don't know.
It's just the way it goes.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
This
necessarily.
kind of falls in line.
Go ahead, Zach.
This kind of falls in line with the guy that we were just talking about with Somerville. It's like this feels like shades of that, where it's like, well, if it wasn't on here, the sales. Well, if it was an Xbox, it would have had a higher score. Like, no, fuck off. Just make a good game, and that'll show through. And to me, I'm sorry, people, but the highest rated games that Bethesda has brought out is Elder Scrolls. Oblivion is a 94. Like Skyrim's up there at 96.
Mhm.
All those games are higher. The Fallout games, -3, have been in the 80s. And if you look at what
Well, they only
most
made
people
the
talk
2,
about,
right? 3 and
they only
4,
made the
but-
2, and even then, the best one is still considered New Vegas.
Well, I
To
got
a
a
lot of
question for you,
people.
which
Stalker.
isn't even Bethesda.
Which
So
isn't even rated
Exactly,
the highest,
which
right?
is even Bethesda, and it's not rated the highest. But to me, I just think it's going to be held to a standard of what Bethesda's held to. Like
No, I agree
Bethesda
with
makes
that.
these epic games. They make huge
Yeah,
games
I don't
that are
think it's
bigger than
gonna
anything
go
else.
from like 95 to like 75. I think it will go from 95 to 92
Really?
because of those kind of stupidities. I think that
That's-
would happen.
That's actually my review score. I think they'll give it. I said an 88 to a 92. I think is what they'll.
I think
land
that's what
on.
would happen. Well, I mean, look with Hi-Fi Rush, right? Most people rated it exactly the way they should, just based on the game. However, there were some reviewers who said, well, and this was specifically one who said Xbox has no games. I have to dock this game. That was literally what
That
they
was
put in the review.
Metro.com, that piece of shit
Yeah, they literally
website.
put that in. And I'm like, gee. And so you have to take it with just a little bit of like, they might be docking it a couple of points just because it's a platform.
That's
And
a pretty
it
that's a
happens.
pretty rare though example of someone that's just dumb enough to come out and do that though.
Yeah,
Like
and again, it shouldn't be a huge thing. It's
Yeah.
not like it's gonna go down 20 points, but it could go down a couple of points just because of that.
I
right?
don't think
I
this
have
game's
a
gonna be
question.
held
It'll be
back
in the right
because it's Microsoft owned IP. I think what's
Yeah,
gonna I think the
But I
game's
got
gonna
a
live and
question. I
die
got a
on what it
question
does
for
well.
you all. I got a question for you all.
Yes,
What
Ember?
do you think? What do you
Now, Keith.
think? Now, Keith. Well, now, what do you think this game is going to score? Zalka, like, because you brought up,
This is what I think is
Elder
gonna
Scrolls.
happen.
85
I
to
think-
88.
Listen, I think that there is a lot of points of negativity always sells. I don't think people are going to be negative on it where the point where they're hindering the score. I think that somebody might give it fucking an 87 or an 88, but they'll
And focus on the
concentrate
negative.
on like
Yeah.
what is broken in Starfield, like those stupid things or
Exactly. No, that's
brutal,
fair.
honest, broken game. Like they'll do that, but it'll get
My
high-
brutally
it'll
honest
get high
broken
rating.
review.
Yeah,
I'm sure
brutally
we'll
honest,
get somebody who
broken
gets it a
stupidity.
6 out of 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
pretty
I'm just saying, like some people might give it really 6 out of 10 or whatever. Now, I think the bigger thing that's going to be hyper focused now because of what's happening with Xbox, especially when it comes to consistency, is how is it going to perform on the console? That is what it's going to be because a lot of people were mad that it's not going to be on the PS5. So if it's running at 30 or if it looks anything like Redfall does, which is, I'm going to say right now, a fucking 2 or 3 on the console. That's my grade on the console. It's that bad. That much differentiation between that and the PC I played. I'm going to say that it'll get destroyed. Because people are going to get really mad about it, and it's going to be, oh, the tools, or oh, this optimization. No one's going to give a shit, because that game is one of the biggest hyped games of this entire generation, and it's going to matter what it is on the console, and in turn, it's going to matter on the console because then it's going to show what it is on the PC for optimization.
See, now,
they kind of go hand
this
in
is
hand.
this is why I believe that they will unfairly review it. I think you just hit it on the head.
That's not
This guy-
unfair. If it
No,
runs like shit, that's not
No,
unfair.
not that reason. I'm saying that they're putting
Oh,
all
Zelda
this
gets away with it.
scrutiny. Right, yeah, exactly.
I'm
But,
just
they,
kidding, I'm
but
just-
it's no, they do. Like, and well, it's the hardware. I get that too. I'm not trying to. I don't even want to go into that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Because I don't want Hargeet tearing me a new one right now.
Oh,
so
shit.
listen, Hargeet is ready. Like, what do you say about Zelda?
No, why are you going to make it sound like that?
I don't know. Listen, so this is my thing. I think the scrutiny that's placed on it, and we see all this advertising up, we see all of this scrutiny placed on it. If Starfield has to do this, or Xbox will fail, all these things. I'm telling you that they're going to put this game on such a high pedestal that if it messes
I
up on
agree.
whatever it is, they're going to nail this game. I'm telling you, they're not going to give it a fair shake. I just refuse
And
to
I
believe
think-
it.
and I think that's
Jeez,
on-
you're so
I think that's
toxic, huh,
on-
bro.
I think that's a little bit on not Xbox. I don't really put that on Xbox. I put that more on ZeniMax because Redfall came out and it was a what the fuck moment. Like
I agree
when
with
you
that,
end
too.
your show on that thing, it's like, okay, this is going to be a pretty big game. They ended a show on it in 2021.
And what we put
So
on Xbox from Redfall was the fact that, hey, you saw it before it came out and you still released it even though it wasn't done, while acknowledging that, hey, this game was also developed 5 years ago when you didn't even own the studio.
And also, we didn't show it on the console at all, and it was
Yeah.
all PC, and it looked at 60 and blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. Now this is it. The show is this. Phil
Mhm.
Spencer said he's going to show it. We're going to get an answer if it's 60-30. We're going to get all those things answered so we know. And I want that, just the transparency. I'm looking forward to Starfield. Obviously, it's Bethesda, and I keep saying this. I think people forget just how big their games are and how much they change the industry. Like the last time we had something like this was like Elden Ring and stuff like that, where those games just take over everything. And that's what this is going to do. And if it doesn't do that, then yeah, it's a little bit of a, hey, what's going on? Why isn't it doing that? Because that's what Bethesda has always done. Their games are massive always, and they take up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
So now, Zucker, to your point, Elder Scrolls is the one that people really, really like from that studio, right?
Of course.
And this is a different game, which may or may not resonate. It like you for instance aren't really into sci-fi, so there might be people who aren't as interested in this. That might have a little bit of a attraction to it as well, right? And that's just fairness of the game itself. It may just not be like at that same level. Like Fallout doesn't rate as well as the Elder Scrolls, and this is a new sci-fi IP, right? So that's different. They're also trying to make it more realistic. That's different. So we'll see how this goes, right? It's not going to be the same kind of game. It is a little bit of a gamble. So we'll see if it rates well. I still think it'll be like 80s, probably maybe close to 90, or if not a little bit over the 90 mark. But I think everything you said, Zucker, is exactly what will happen, right? Is it's got to perform. That would not matter at all, because you're watching a game right now that performed like absolute dog crap, but nobody cared, right? Because Jedi Survivor is not a platform. It's a third party, and
Well,
they let it
they
go.
do
said,
care.
"Fine, they'll
They
fix
do
it."
care, and I care
fix it.
personally, but the game doesn't run as bad as I think a lot of people might expect
But
in a
just
lot of areas.
Being fair, like if
Yeah.
this is how it comes out, Starfield comes out with this kind of
It will get a lot of
performance,
scrutiny, yeah.
it will get hammered. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
And
gonna
Jedi
have
did too.
bugs,
We
and
got to be
it's
clear
gonna
about that.
have-
Jedi definitely got hammered
I don't know
quite a
if
bit for
anybody
that.
docked any points for it. It has a pretty high rating, so I
Well,
think
I don't know of
point.
any
Let it
reviews
go.
that really docked Redfall too much for 30 FPS, except for one or two. But they're fine with other games running at 30 FPS, right? So I don't.
No,
I
that
don't know. a ton
Redfall
about it.
was-
deserved what it
Redfall
got
wasn't-
for totally
Redfall
different
was-
reasons.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
Redfall
like a
just
literal
didn't
review
have
title
AI.
saying, I can't play console games at 30 anymore, but then they're fine with fucking, other games doing it. It's weird. Herbie, by the way, shout out to Herbie. He says, stop preparing yourself for low review scores as copium. The game will be reviewed on what it does well and what it doesn't do well, essentially. And this is
Yeah,
the
I
problem,
agree.
Herbie, is nobody's giving it low review scores here. Like 88 from I'm saying
That's pretty
85 to
good.
88.
That's pretty good.
89 maybe. That's not low. To me, that's a pretty realistic,
Fantastic.
great score, right? So
Settle
consider
down,
listening to the
Herbert.
show, Herbert. We
I'm
appreciate it.
gonna go from 83 to 87. That's where I think it's gonna
You're a
be.
little slut.
I think it's gonna be in there, and that's because if you look at it, like Elder Scrolls is just loved by so many, And those
Yeah.
games, they just know how to make that. I don't know what it is. That fantasy genre, Bethesda does it better than anyone else. You get lost in Skyrim, you get lost in Oblivion. Those games are amazing and they kill it. They absolutely kill it. Fallout isn't really my thing. I don't really care for it too
You
much.
haven't played it too
I know
much
a lot
either,
of
though.
people. I know I beat 3 and I beat New Vegas and I just didn't really care to play 4 because I beat the other ones and I was like, this isn't.
Really?
This is just isn't. Yeah, I just don't
What the
care.
fuck?
I don't like the setting.
So
I
you
get
played
bored
New
of that
Vegas, you
setting.
beat it. You played
Of course.
3, you beat it.
New
and
Vegas
you're just like,
is the
I
best
don't want to
one.
play these games. Fuck them.
No, I played 4 for a couple hours.
You
and I
might
was
not
like,
want to play
"Ah, this just
Starfield
isn't
then
gonna
because
be."
that's like Fallout in space, basically.
I don't know about all that. But
You know,
we'll find out.
some shit added there. But you know what I'm saying?
Fallout's not realistic. You could shoot a nuke from a gun.
You're
and it's like,
going to fucking
you're like,
alien
cool.
worlds. Like this ain't realistic either. Like it's
I mean,
not
they're
supposed to be.
grounding it. They're like they talked about. This is like grounded in reality of like NASA. If it really did do like this or that, and to me, like
Mhm.
I don't even know if there's any aliens. Like they even said that there's going to be humans. It's not going to be like alien humanoids. I think, and that's what they were talking about. And I was just like, what?
I mean,
Like,
of course they got to be aliens.
I didn't like that either. I didn't
If
like
there's
No,
not
they-
aliens, then you know you got to admit, chat. That's
No, there's going to be aliens, but I don't think it's going to be like humanoid aliens where it's like Mass Effect. You're talking to a fucking
Yeah.
squid,
that's good.
like stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna
what's
be
wrong
like
with that?
not bipedal type aliens,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
so aliens would just be other lower life forms.
Like,
which
don't get me wrong, if I'm
they
wrong
won't
in that, because
have.
that's what I thought they said.
they don't got to be lower
Zombie
life
Chat.
form, Hargy. Come on.
that's what it looked
we
like.
don't.
in
We
red
just
light,
haven't seen
so I
anything,
agree
right?
with you.
So far, all the hints are that you're right. It's just humans are the enemies that you're fighting.
There should be
people are
some
like-
damn alien enemies in the game. It makes no sense for there not to be.
They said people are like, well, Elder Scrolls isn't realistic. I know it's not. I don't want it to be realistic. That's my point.
Yeah, that was why I was saying all that, right? They're gonna try for something more realistic. It's not as fantasy, right? Elder Scrolls is fun because it is fantasy. They can just go anywhere they want, right?
Yeah.
That's not what you have here. So we will see. It is sci-fi, so we will see.
So
All I
long
know
story
is
short,
that
to
if-
sum it up, basically, like you know, people are saying that these sites are gonna dock Redfall. They're gonna dock Starfield because it's Xbox exclusive game. I personally am not. I don't buy it. What say ye? Quickly,
Well,
Zapper.
Special Nick said that it's going to do it because people like attacking that sort of thing. They like attacking Xbox, especially because
Yeah,
it
it's
builds
basically
your channel.
more words.
Yeah,
you
so
know.
it's like it's been going on. Like people built their entire channels from 2015 on just Xbox sucks ass, and that's
Yep.
literally what they did for a long time. And to some extent, yeah, I agree that.
But he was
has
also
happened and it
referencing the
sucks.
media, right?
Yeah, he was referencing the media too, and
And they're
saying
not
that's
building
gonna
their
hurt the
channels on that,
scores.
right? Or
They're,
Why don't-
and I don't care. Like I mean, they did. You know, 1080p
Some-
makes you a better game.
They leave
Like,
Destin
fucking-
alone.
Hey, listen,
I
I'm
don't.
just
I don't
saying.
think the media is beyond doing it though. Like I hear people always say the media won't do. Why? Why do you think the media won't do that?
Well,
I don't
it's
want
not that they will or won't. It's that I don't think that it's I don't think it's such a factor where you would even have to say it. And again, you can look to even as arguing for them, just like the non-mainline Nintendo, like Mario and Zelda games. You know, they don't review all that well. We forget that
They don't.
because there's so few of them. Once every fucking decade, and then there's like a few non-mainlines. The mainline games do reviews crazy, stupid good though. But
Anybody
again,
that's
it's the
saying
same
that the
thing
game
anywhere
is, like Xbox is riding all on Starfield, I don't
They're
agree
not.
with that. Xbox is going to be completely fine, man. They're not going anywhere. They make too much money, and that just is what it is. But I do say that I think if Starfield does come out bad, it's not going to look good. You're going to see Phil Spencer looking all sad and shit again with Paris and being like, "This wasn't a good week."
Do you
And
think
it's
he'll
like,
play it
no
on
shit.
Xbox?
That Scorpion
I
is
don't
having
know.
him a time with you up in here, dealer.
Shit.
I know.
He has been
No,
having him.
you know, there's one of these
house
gameplays.
snacks.
I was sitting on a phone call for like 30 minutes during it, but
There's
that's-
another excuse in his gameplay, bro.
that's my damage
Yeah.
control. At least I
another
got some
excuse.
gameplay though.
All
All
I
right.
have to say is,
Hey,
where's your
watching,
NBA
I'm
at?
like,
Hey,
man,
I got
Tears
some of
of the
that too.
Kingdom is better.
Say what?
Hey, listen,
I'm just watching this and saying, man, Tears of the Kingdom is better. Like,
Ah,
A,
come
you
on.
can climb
Come
anything
on.
you want, and B,
Don't
you have
let
crazy
dealers
And then
do
you
gameplay.
fall off and
Thank
die
you
'cause your
for
stamina
doing
ran
it.
out.
God, this is terrible. Like, seriously.
Hargy, why did you have to bring that up now? Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna come
Zelda
at
hurts
you.
my
Sorry,
eyes.
but it
You
is
can
what it is.
climb-
I'm
you
looking at
can-
this game and I'm like,
yeah,
this is trash.
You can
This
climb
is
an
so bad.
8-bit wall with bare feet and Link and shit. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to the
I
top,
know you don't want to hear it, but it
if
is
you
what
would
it
hit
is,
this,
right?
if you would
You
hit
also
this
loved Elden Ring,
freaking
and I hate it.
scorpion, if you would hit
So-
this scorpion with your stick, it'd break in half and you sit there like trying to fucking parkour around. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, big shout out to
You
I
Zelda
am
loving son of a.
I am Uzumati. Azamati, member for
spit
21
facts.
months.
Sorry,
He says
dude, this game
Xbox
is
should
pretty
get
bad.
marketing deals marketing rights for Mortal Kombat 1. Let's get a Series X with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That would be pretty badass looking. You got to be honest about that. And then Killanitis, shout out to you, man. He says, hold the line. King David, shout out to King David. And we got a few others here, Hargy, if you want to grab these. But again, chat, let us know if you think Starfield is going to get docked. I remind you that, PlayStation has plenty of games that have been fucking crushed by the same websites, including Days Gone, fucking Knack, The Order. Like, there's so many games. Drive Club, Gran Turismo Sport. Like, there's so many games. And I agree that, Death Stranding should be in that list. But unfortunately, that is definitely one that got by with a bunch of bullshit on some of those websites, too. Keep in mind, Sony have a lot of websites. Like, they have a lot of PlayStation-oriented websites.
Yep.
They give some of these games, automatic.
You mean like
Standards.
Xbox era?
Nines.
They got to pass because
Xbox
of
Era,
Kojima.
what?
Let's just be real.
I'm just saying, like Xbox era
Yeah.
giving fucking Redfall an
Jeez.
8.5. What
Is
the
it?
hell?
They
we
didn't
doing,
give it
bro?
that, did they?
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
so.
I think they
Impot.
did, buddy.
What?
Think
Holy
so,
shit! Who's
yeah.
reviewing? Never mind. We just can't go on that.
All right. back to the
Yeah.
super-
Go ahead.
Bifrenaldi, $2. They skipped Injustice because WB was up for sale. Well, possibility. But I mean, they're still part of it, right? So I don't know why that would
They're still
matter.
making what they're
Um,
making.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Lord Starkiller XSX01, $10. Some reviewers seem to use Redfall as gasoline to make it seem like the entire Xbox house is on fire. Not true. Reviewers' knives may be up if Starfield launches with only 30 FPS quality mode.
I don't know.
that's
Some of those
probably
reviewers
true, but I
prefer
mean-
quality mode. They're like, "You're right, Todd. 30 frames is good."
There's
You know?
people in the chat like, wait, Harky doesn't like Elden Ring? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
But you like
I
Zelda?
finished the game, but I'm like, good God, that game was annoying.
Dude,
It
Hargy
feels
was the
like a
guy that was
torture
helping
mission.
everybody,
Hargy-
like in parties with that game. Like he was like, "All right, I'll join in
Oh,
co-op. All right, come on."
I loved Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yep. He was helping.
Anyways, I am Ozamatli, I guess.
Azamati.
Ozamatli. $5. Starfield overall Metascore 89.
Shout out to
See around what it would be. Yeah,
Azamati.
that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not a bad
Mitsubishi.
score. Not a bad
Uh,
score at all, by the way. Let us know what you. I guess we could do that before last part of this topic. I mean, we kind of alluded to it. My meta for Starfield right now will be anywhere from 85 to 89. What about to yours, Zucker? Quickly.
We come. I said 83 to 87.
83 to 87.
And then we right when the direct happens after the show, we come back. So I'm thinking 60. No, I'm just joking.
No, I think it might go up. It might go up, definitely.
It might go up if it's like we got 60 on the
they
console
say
or did
60,
this and that.
absolutely.
Like I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be well received because people are gonna be enjoying it that much more.
I think it's a big game, but again, as I've always said, I don't think there's I think this game will run at 60, and it should do that at launch. I definitely do, and I think the main thing that's going to be taxing about this game that their other past games didn't do is going to be streaming in of assets. Is going to tax the 40x IO of the console. I think that's really the main thing. But other than that, that shouldn't prohibit them from hitting 60 FPS on Series X. And I guess we will see. Hargy, what do you think is going to get Metascore?
I'm gonna stick to the high 80s, so I'm gonna say 80, 88. I think it'll get around 88.
D-Batch, you've been asleep. What do you think I'll give it?
I give it a 90, and I'm on the phone with the bank.
All right, that's the bank. What they're going to give it to.
Get my
And then,
loan, bitch.
Umbra, what are they going to give it?
I said anywhere from 88 to a 92.
Mm.
I know I'm kind of hedging bets there, but I also said that I thought they would land on 62. I think they will get 60 frames per second.
Yeah. I think they should definitely. If they don't, then yeah.
Am
I'll
I the
take that.
one that said 83 to 87? Like I'm lower than you guys, even in like my range.
I've heard people
Yes.
lower than you.
That's 'cause you're
don't
negative.
Feel bad.
No, it's more.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's the shooting. I just didn't. I don't like Redfall 4 shooting. I don't know. Like I think, and then this game is very based on the shooting. Like the combat is all the shooting. So that unless they revamp the shooting in the game, it's gonna
yeah.
need to be better. And then there is reports that id did help them with the shooting, but then there was reports that Redfall got help from id.
I
too.
did not like Redfall shooting either, Zucker.
Imagine how bad it was before id jumped in on Redfall. Fuck.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
And they're like,
Well,
what
I
frame
mean-
rate is this? I can't even help you. What the fuck
I'm
is
just saying,
going
like
on?
that's why to me their games like Elder Scrolls score so much better because it's melee combat and spell. There's not a lot of like
Yeah, true.
shooting. You're
You
not shooting
aim the
gun.
spells and arrows and stuff, but I mean,
Dude, but it's not
they
like
weren't great
you're
at
not
it.
shooting
Even
motherfuckers.
Fallout 4, the shooting wasn't great, and I'm hoping they come forward in that. Pillbox Gaming, shout out to you, brother. But yeah, let us know, chat, what you think the meta is going to be for Starfield. If you think the media are gonna slam this game because it's exclusive, I really don't buy that myself. But let us know your thoughts, and of course, hit the like button, tell everybody to we're live as we do move forward. Finally, in some of these topics. There's a rumor going around, Forza Motorsport could potentially be released this October. And I know Umbra, he doesn't think that game's coming out this year. Umbra, why are you delaying the game?
Yeah,
Well,
dude, what the hell?
Listen, I'll put a caveat. I feel like Hellblade 2 is going to release later this year. But if Forza is to release this year, then Hellblade 2 will be pushed into next year. Because you can't put all those stacked upon each other, right?
Why not?
Better. Why not?
I mean,
The fuck?
Well,
Halo and Forza was a month apart, but
that's true. But Forza eventually kind of faded because of it too, though. I would say.
no.
They just hit 30 million people. What are you talking about?
Well, I think their numbers went down.
I'm surprised you
when
didn't
Halo
say,
hit.
those names
Their
should
numbers
be switched
went up. It went from like
No, I'm talking
they're
about
at
like
30
playing
million.
at one. No,
Concurrent players at the time, he's probably right. But
Yeah,
I
I think that
people
the
came
concurrent
They're
back
different
they were
genres
playing
too, though. You got to understand, like that's kind of the thing about Game Pass. They want different genres to be hitting constantly, right, to keep different groups of people engaged.
Yeah.
So
No,
that'll be a big part of the strategy.
If they launched all those, we got to give Xbox credit for having a greater year, right? Obviously, I just don't think they're going to launch all those back to back like that. I just
Look,
don't see that happening.
They need to increase the quantity of consoles they have available, and then launch a whole bunch of games to get excitement and sell some damn consoles. They're getting like just destroyed by PlayStation right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, again,
So
they haven't launched
if they
games
release
in
a bunch
a
of
while,
games,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
real ones.
Release a bunch of games in fall and say, hey, this is a reason to come to this platform. We've got 3-4 awesome games. Hopefully ABK gets done. But that's the thing. I think they should do it, right? They should put out, because they owe us a bunch of games. They had nothing last year.
They need to get people on
Right?
Game Pass. They don't give a shit about the console. They give a shit about
No,
Game
fair
Pass.
enough, but they need to
think
have
they care about all of
enthusiasm
it.
behind the platform, right? So, and the platform, yes, Game Pass is part of the platform. I get that, but they need to have enthusiasm on this side, right? And
Yeah.
it's waning because there's nothing. It's just and the only game they put out is Redfall. I know Hi-Fi Rush came out, but it's
Yeah, they're trying to push units, right? And no matter what anyone says, they do want to push more units. They do want to sell more consoles. As a matter of fact, that's why they went and they bet so hard on Series S for that recent drive. But it was just the wrong bet, like they said. So hopefully they understand that the people are going to adopt the technology first, usually the hardcore. And if you're not selling, all the Series X's that are in demand, you should probably start there. And then the Series S's will kind of sell themselves, many of which are already people that own a Series X, right? So Series S is a hell of a console. It really is for what it does. I mean, it's kind of incredible for the price.
I
But,
also
How
think that
confident are you all in that? And how confident? Sorry, Zalker. I was going to say, how confident are you all in Forza actually launching this year?
Well, we've seen more Forza than we have most of their games with that big, walkthrough. They were very, very clear, one track, real time, while you're racing, ray tracing, not in the replay mode. And that's on Series S as well, we're hearing. So that's pretty impressive. And if they're comfortable saying all that stuff, because Turn 10, we're actually scheduled before the pandemic to go to GDC and help other developers understand how to better leverage ray tracing on these consoles, right? They're there to literally teach and show how they did it, how they pulled it off. And that stuff, I think, got canceled because of the pandemic. But they've been working on this thing for a long time. They have 5 years this year, I do believe. And that is by far the largest development cycle of any Forza.
I'm pretty confident it's coming because, one, they don't really talk about Forza games until E3, and they're like, coming in 5 months.
Yep.
And that's kind of what they've done. But for this one, they've been really like hedging their bets for a while. There's been a while since a motorsport came out where, again, like Dealer said, they've been pushing the tech in the background. That's kind of like what Turn 10 does. And if you've noticed, the studios that have been part of Xbox the most, Coalition, Rare, Turn 10, have been the ones helping other studios. Like Phil mentioned, Coalition and Rare. So these guys are the ones that they worked with the most on the console. And this is going to push what the console does. And they need to get it out for one, just actually show what the hardware can do, but also so it can help other studios and they can help them once they get those APIs and everything documented of how to handle this stuff. So I'm looking forward to that in general, but I don't really care about motorsport as a game. I just don't care. Like, it's not my thing. I like Forza. I like Forza Horizon, man. Forza Horizon.
I was
play all
hoping
the
this game
time.
was coming out in the spring. Honestly, I
I
thought it
know,
was because I know it's something they wanted to move to internally eventually. I thought this was the perfect year to do it, and it would have been. They needed something, in my opinion. The first half that was a little different, but if it comes out this holiday, I feel like it would. It should. I feel like it should be a spring game. Honestly, I really do.
It might be.
It might be. That's basically what I'm saying.
Just saying.
I just don't know if they can afford to just push it because they have a lot of.
They never
other
gave
stuff
a
that
date.
Like they didn't give it a date. I mean, if it comes out this year, cool. Like Hellblade, they didn't give any date, and we haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
And so I think that we'll just obviously find out at the show, but they got to bring out Motorsport, because if they bring out Forza Motorsport next spring, that's going to be next year is going to be 3 years since Forza Horizon 5. So that's like, are we going to get Forza Motorsport in the spring and then Horizon 5 in the holiday season again? Like
It'll probably take
Forzas in
5
1
years
year?
itself, because they need to retool and update that engine. Because Forza Tech is started with Turn 10. And what a lot of people don't know is Turn 10 built out that technology and essentially sent it over to Playground to build a map and, to change some things around with the physics a little bit and bullshit like that. But all that work is really done, for the most part, on behalf of Turn 10 when it comes to physics and the car models and all that stuff. They send it all over. So if they're using a different engine, it's possible that, Horizon will have to update to that engine or that variant as well.
Yeah,
and that would look incredible.
I would say, by the way, I'm not in any rush to get a new Forza Horizon. And by the way, I do agree with you, Zalker. I preferred it over the Motorsport. But yeah, I'm not in a rush for another Forza Horizon. I don't think many of us are. I think we've got 5. I think 5 is still viable. I don't think there's any need for a part 6 just yet.
And I'm not saying that Horizon, they don't do a lot of work on the engine side too. They definitely do. I'm saying the core technology is from Turn 10, and what they're doing has to trickle over at some point.
I'm in no rush either for the Forza Horizon. Like, I mean, we just got the DLC. I beat that whole thing. I had a great time. I've played everything that studio's brought out, and that's kind of the racing game I focus on. But I understand what Forza Motorsport does for the overall success of the other studios when it comes to the software and the hardware coming together.
You guys are going to try it, right? You're going to at least try Motorsport.
Oh, 100%. I'm going to try it, and I want to see what the hell it looks like.
And if you want to feel out what it really feels like, turn off all the assists, because a lot of people don't even know what Forza feels like.
Challenging you to a race, bitch.
We already raced once, I think. And I don't
we did and this motherfucker played so much Motorsport. He remembered, he could have drove with his eyes fucking closed. He was like, "Now you got to go slow on this turn." I'm like, "Shut up, dealer."
He's like flying off the track. He's like, "What the? I got a break? What the fuck? This isn't Horizon."
Dealer stopping in the middle. You're all right, bud. Get out of the way.
Went and made a sandwich and passed him again. But
were you trying to ride clean, Zalker? Because I don't. If I'm racing,
I don't even know what that means. I'm just driving, bro.
Okay, so you ride dirty.
I don't even.
I'm running into everybody. Yeah, I'm running to everybody. Get out of my way. I'm just bulldozing.
Well, let's say you bulldozed through a studio. Not literally, but you did, and there were 1,000 people in it. That studio would be Mojang. They have 1,000 employees now. That's
they still
crazy.
Can't get ray tracing in the goddamn game.
Why? Where's the ray tracing at? Chat? Where's
all
Minecraft
that
ray tracing?
At? What the heck?
If Rockstar can send 20 engineers reportedly to work on water physics for Grand Theft Auto 6, where the fuck's the ray tracing at? Is they just show Digital Foundry and said fuck it or what? Like, what's going on? Other games are doing ray tracing, not quite that, not that fidelity, but damn, it's Minecraft.
What are they working on? Like, I guess Legends. I guess Legends and stuff.
No, it's not those games. Those are actually outsourced. No, it's the content. That's how they stay popular. They
1,000 people though? Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Destiny takes 1,000 people. That's the way it is. If you want a live service game, you need to have that.
And the initiative has fucking 36. Like, what the?
That shit's gonna be fire.
But that's not gonna be a live service game, right? I assume. I hope it's not, because then it's gotta. They have to have way more people.
Yeah.
But this is why Halo was not doing content, because they just didn't have enough people. It's just you need a lot.
Yeah, maybe they should have thought about that before, huh?
Yep.
They're like, fuck, I forgot we need a lot more people to do this. Everything's all built out and shit.
Service, yep.
So, but seriously though, you gotta admit, it's 1,000 people surprising, are you? Like for a lot, even Minecraft, I don't care how many updates come out every other month, whatever. 1,000 people, that is an Assassin's Creed Unity team or so. Like that's a lot of people.
Yeah. But Minecraft is like a money printing machine for Microsoft.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying look at the fidelity and everything that's going on, right? Like Minecraft's kind of like a build it yourself tool erector set, right? Like it takes care of itself in a lot of ways. Whereas you got a AAA machine that have a lot of people or a similar amount of people.
You could say that of Fortnite. Fortnite was also an erector set. However, it became a very popular one, and it got more popular when they decided not to do
y'all keep saying erector.
Erectors.
I'm getting erector.
Chat, let us know if you played with the erectors. Fortnite, I don't know if it's an erector set. Like the Save the World was.
You stop saying
erector sets. Hashtag erector
fucking
sets. Hashtag Street Shark.
Yeah. I mean, hey, whatever. It
Shark.
works. It obviously is making money. It's still the most popular game.
In the world,
thing, right?
Dealer's
Right?
capping
It's
for
just
for
crazy.
Minecraft, a game he's never played.
Hey, I played Minecraft, and I'm not the one capping for it. I'm saying they don't.
Yeah,
why is there
I don't
so many people here?
understand it. But
I just
kids
want to
love it,
know. I just
apparently.
want to know, Zalker, 1,000 people. What do you think they're doing?
Like
party.
I said, just making content and hopefully making ray tracing. I don't know, man. I don't play Minecraft at
So
all.
you're saying you
I
don't?
played
You
it a
can't think of
couple
a reason why?
times, I don't know what the hell. Like 1,000 people. It's like kind of like what do you like? I guess you're putting more stuff into it, but I don't see that stuff. Like,
Uh-huh.
I understand when I hear like there's 2,000 people on Fortnite because every week there's an event.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Well-
but for this, like, I don't know what they're
Are
bringing.
they counting like
I don't-
contracted like skin making, like people that make some of the skins, third
What
party?
skins are you
Well,
making?
no, I think
Like, we're making a lot of skins.
Call that
If
shit
you wanna-
orange.
Fuck.
if you want to look at their competition is Roblox, right?
Yeah.
And Roblox lets you basically make any world you want, right? You can literally there's supposedly a whole Call of Duty built into Roblox.
That's just a
Right, you can do
compilation of
anything you
stolen assets from everything else, basically. What
Right,
Roblox is?
But that's what but there you go, right? So Roblox lets players do whatever they want, and that might be what Minecraft is looking to do, is like expand their toolkit to be like that, right? So good for them, right?
How many
Whatever, if
employees
they
does
wanna-
Roblox have?
It's a good question.
Like
Let's find
40,
out.
probably. Like, yeah,
doubt
why
it.
the fuck we need
Twitter was
that?
worth
People just
$40
make the shit
billion,
themselves.
So
Chat, let us know why you think there's 1,000 people at Mojang.
2100, 2128.
Jeez.
Roblox 2128. Yeah.
They need
Uh,
all
What the
those
fuck are they
devs.
doing?
They need all those devs to make erectors for
Alright,
these
that's what it
regular
is.
tours.
Like
You know what it
this
is?
what
Like
it
it's
is.
those TikTok videos where they're like, at work today, made a latte, hanging out, fucking chilling. Oh, I got a meeting, and then I went and got my bagel at 9. Like that's what they're doing over there. Like, what are you doing? 1,500? Get Elon in there.
No shit.
Elon
I'm
in
just
there.
joking. I'm just fucking
Wow.
joking.
Stupid.
I'm just joking.
Bloodbath.
You know who we need to have employees is a studio that can make Killer Instinct. Again, I've been a Killer Instinct fan of Killer Instinct since Super Nintendo, and I've always liked the series. Didn't go super hard with the last one because of the free to play aspect. At the time, I barely had fucking internet, right? So it was kind of a weird thing with the last one out launched. But I think a modern one could really take it up a couple notches, and they had basically said that Killer Instinct won't be killed off. It's actually getting an update to help keep its servers online. So they're not only enabling people to keep playing it, but they're saying that the IP won't be killed off, and hopefully that means and will translate into another Killer Instinct, which again I've tried to get information about from Ricari, who has worked on Killer Instinct, who's been on the show several times, and he was always real coy about what he knew. Couldn't get nothing. We tried live on the air, which is probably why. But yeah, Killer Instinct. Any fans of Killer Instinct here? No, chat. All right,
Fan of
everyone.
it.
Who
I'm
cares
a fan
about
of
that
the
game?
series,
Umbra hates
but-
it.
Whatever,
I'm-
yeah, just joking.
I'm a fan of it, but I wish they would actually really put effort and money and budget into it. It feels like the last one was more double A than anything else.
Why
to
are we
me.
talking about this, by the way?
Because some people like Killer Instinct, man.
I know, but like, are we gonna like? Is there rumors that there's an announcement?
I just
like,
said
feel like
this
we've
shit.
been-
Where were you?
I know, but like, there was a rumor last year, and then the year before
No, it
that,
wasn't a
and then,
rumor
like,
of an announcement. They were saying they're not going to kill it off, and they've actually taken measures to keep the servers for the last game online. And Umbra, the last one did kind of come out in 2013 era, right? 10 years ago, basically.
Yeah.
I'd like a modern one. That's what I was saying.
It's kind of like a half measure. Like, we're not going to get rid of this one, but we're going to support the old one. It's like, no, dude, just fuck it. What people want is a new one.
Yeah, we would like a
new
new
come
one.
forward. Like, I don't want to hear that. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Like, we're going to support this older, game. It's like, nah, man.
It better
just make
run
a
on
new one.
Source Engine 2 or I'll be pissed.
Hell yeah.
Make a new one and give it a proper budget. That's all they have to do, I think. I mean, it can really turn it around if they give it the proper budget.
And
They're
give it
not doing that.
it needs a team, right? Because literally Double
That's the
Helix
problem.
got sold out to Amazon, I think, in the
Iron
middle of
Galaxy
that.
is pretty solid
And
still,
then
though.
it was handed off to Iron Galaxy, right? And then I think they were bought maybe as well. I'm not sure, but it's always been contracted out. So we'll see what happens there, if anything. By the way, Ubisoft's mysterious open world Star Wars game is reportedly set for 2024, early 2024, in fact. And this would be
March.
this would be from the Amy Hennig team, right?
No,
Or
this
no,
will be
the,
from
my bad, that's-
Massive.
Yeah, massive.
The people that made
The
the
Division.
Division 1 and 2. And apparently Ubisoft internally thinks that this is going to be one of their biggest games, close like to Assassin's Creed. That they're very excited for it. I like what they did with Division. Division was awesome. Division 2, I put so many hours in it. I beat it on Xbox and I beat it on PC. Played the New York expansion on both. Like I love that game. So this team that's on it, I'm super excited for this game. Give me anything like which Division 2, but not like just in Star Wars. Like fuck.
Is it going
Like,
to be
give
an
me that.
updated Snowdrop or an all-new engine or?
I'm not too
I thought I
sure.
heard
They didn't
something
really
about that
talk
recently.
about that. They didn't talk about that. I don't think they talked about that. Let me
They said,
look.
"Fuck the Snowdrop engine. It's trash. We tried."
But I just know that it's closer than people think. And Ubisoft, I miss Ubisoft games. I don't know about anybody else in here, but I actually miss their games. They haven't brought something out in well over a year. I just want something to play from Ubisoft, and I like their games. I'm looking forward to Mirage. I can't wait for their event. I'm actually really looking forward to their event, close to like as much as I'm looking forward to any other event because I just like their games. I wanna
did
see
you
it.
beat or play Ghost Recon Wildlands?
Yeah, I did. I beat Ghost Recon Wildlands.
And what about Breakpoint?
I actually did. When they updated it, they changed a lot of stuff where you can make it more like Wildlands. in the
Survival mode,
settings.
the realistic mode
Yeah.
in Breakpoint made it playable or tolerable for me.
Actually good, and it's a really cool game. So I played that. I beat Far Cry. I even played Riders Republic a shit ton with my friends. We had a great time with that.
Riders Republic, huh?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Like you just do a bunch of like extreme sports in an open world online. It's fun. I had a good time with that too. I beat Valhalla. Just everything that they have. I just enjoy their games.
No
And
props
now
to
that they
everyone that
have-
beat Valhalla. Because holy shit, I needed a Zoloft to get through that bitch. Like I'm fucking depressed as shit playing, but I don't know what it is. Playing Valhalla, I'm like, God, fucking slurming through the colors of
You're
fucking
like,
gloomy
take
weather.
me to Asgard.
Take me to Asgard. Like I'm just fucking done with this shit right now. Like give me a different. Honestly,
they're
it was such a
getting-
good game, man.
They're getting rid of the that whole like mythology part.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that for the new Mirage. So
They should get rid
we'll
of the
see where
fucking
it
Animus
goes.
part and just ditch the
Oh,
Animus.
and one of my favorite games, if it wasn't for Doom Eternal, in that year, Phoenix Rising would have been my favorite game of that year. If it wasn't for Doom Eternal, that game I put so many hours into it, and again, Ubisoft, they just know what they're doing, and I can't. I know people are like the Ubisoft formula. Fuck off, you formula's sick, bro. Like I'm
Look,
down
they're
for it.
getting
And if
they're
it's Star
ditching that
Wars, I'm
formula
down.
soon. Like so you might not like their games. You know, they're
Who
ditching
knows?
some of it.
If they did, well, they're ditching the bigger open world of like Assassin's Creed. They're like, let's hone it down and bring it more closer together, kind of like more old school. Which it's cool. I'll
There
check it
better be
out. but
wobbly ass towers to climb, or I'm out.
I'm down, son.
Shit.
They were saying it's
and
probably, like,
when I
12
hit it,
hours, right?
yeah. I mean, I'm just looking forward to what it is, and if they show it this year, I think they will. I think they have to, right? Like, I mean, if it's coming out next year, early next year, we got to be ready for that.
I just need to see Splinter Cell. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, they do
Just
have
give
that,
me
don't they?
Splinter Cell.
How about I don't care about Splinter Cell?
Oh, I'm sorry. I care about Assassin's Creed. How about that?
All right, we cool again.
Oh,
We
okay.
win.
Nice.
we win.
Hey, Splinter Cell's looking to be a reimagining of the first one, right? Not like a direct, just T for T, fucking remake. I think so. That's a game that back in the day on the Xbox and PS2. That's a game that went the extra mile. All new, separate lighting engine, everything on the more powerful Xbox, and did a lot of cool stuff there. I'm hoping they really are one of the few publishers that decide to really go all out on the hardware and push Splinter Cell to the max, because it's a slower paced game, and you can make up for some of that in some people's eyes with higher fidelity and more realistic immersion, I guess you could say.
And imagine if Microsoft actually locked that down as an exclusive.
For what?
Man.
I mean, I don't think
for
it's
the-
gonna matter anymore because they got Ubisoft Plus on the Xbox now.
Which is the
So a
worst
lot
deal
of
in gaming.
people.
But you don't
Yeah,
get
it's-
you don't get their games day and date though, right? To that.
Yeah, you do.
service?
Oh yeah, that's
First
day and
party?
date.
Is
Yeah,
it?
day and date.
Just so happens
Oh,
they
that's-
launched the service on
yeah.
console when they hadn't made any games.
Yeah,
Okay, but
so
I
they
forgot
fit
it's
right
the
in with
same
Xbox,
thing.
baby. I'm
Shit.
just joking.
Shit.
Yeah, I forgot it's his own thing. What it's like $15? No, like 18 or something like that.
Yeah, it
You
is.
get, I think it's like
18, yeah.
$17. Then you get it on Xbox and PC, I believe.
Except for the months where there's no first party games from them, then it drops down to $7 a month.
No.
No.
Yep,
fuck you.
that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Come on, Ubisoft.
Nice.
We didn't release any. Does Xbox do that?
Well, they got everyone else's games. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, both services do have their audience. Kind of like Take-Two. Take-Two, they had a recent financial earnings call, and they could have potentially alluded to Grand Theft Auto 6's release windows, right? Are you excited for some first-person car stealing, sky shooting action, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be next fall. That seems to be where it lines up. I assume we'll see something this either in tomorrow's showcase or Keeley's or yeah, the chances of it being on Xbox showcase is probably very low.
You want to guess how many copies GTA 5 has sold as of right now?
GTA 5 is 180, I think, right? It's pretty high.
180 million copies sold of that fucking game.
God
That's
damn.
nuts.
I think my grandma tripped over one and bought it. Like, fuck.
Like, what is this piece of
So
shit?
Ridiculous.
Still not as much as Minecraft, but pretty good. It's really, really, really awesome. Really ridiculously high. But yeah.
I mean, it's not as much as Minecraft, but that's too. I know what you're doing there, Hargit. You're trying to bait us all. Look, listen, Grand Theft Auto, it's probably gonna be pretty epic. I just hope they improve the aiming. There was no aiming in the last game.
The whole fucking
the
gameplay.
control schemes, they're always really bad in Rockstar
they
games.
need to modernize the gameplay. That was the part of RDR2 that I just really did not like. It's a great story, great game, but like the gameplay just needs some refinement. But we'll see what they do.
I don't care about story. Like, cool story's all great, but if the gameplay is just not there, then I don't care about the story. I'm not going to sit there and be like, wow, Arthur Morgan's cheek is just so blushy right now. Like, I don't give a shit.
I love Arthur.
Like, I want to shoot. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't care about that. I need the gameplay to hit, and that gameplay did not hit. It was bad, so they got to modernize it a little bit, bring it forward, do something different. Like, that's what you guys used to do.
We
Like,
want
you
the
guys used
gameplay to be
do
as good as possible, and that's why we don't talk about that as much, because that's the given, right? It goes without saying you want the gameplay to be amazing, and that's true for some aspects of Rockstar games. I got to admit, Take-Two do say that they are expecting fiscal year 2025, which runs from April 2024 to March 2025, to be a massive period for the company, with several big game releases in that period. So if they're expecting it to be massive, and Grand Theft Auto, what did last one came out 10 years ago, let's call it. It's fucking time. Like, that game's got to be launching somewhere in there. So in the next year and a half.
I think Judas probably launches too, right? So, and hopefully that'll be good too.
Which one?
So Judas, that's the BioShock creator, has created a new studio under under Take-Two, to make the next BioShock equivalent type game. I think it's called Judas.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were just making a BioShock 4.
I think they're doing that too, but I'm pretty sure that's the game, right?
Huh.
You guys have all heard of it, right?
Chat, let us know.
Pretty sure that was the name.
But Grand Theft Auto 6, Umber, you think it's hitting in that window, sometime early 2025 or from March 2024 on?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think I'm glad you had said that, by the way, because I was wondering what is their fiscal year, because it said fiscal 2025. I'm like, is that actually 2025 or
Yeah, something like
24? Yeah. So I think it's possible. I wonder though, when did GTA 5 launch?
2013 or 2012.
I want to say.
Like what month though? Like, because then we could probably have a better idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
September 2013.
Okay, so it's possible that's what they'll be aiming for, something in the holiday.
Which is crazy because the next gen consoles came out right after that, and they didn't bring it to next gen for quite a while, and it literally
They didn't
kept
bring
people,
it to next gen until the next year, I believe. They took one
it kept
year,
people
then
on
they added-
360 and PS3 for like years, right? It's crazy. Who does that though? I mean, Sony kind of did with Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2, but those games they knew would be forward compatible, etc. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he just told me September 17, 2013. So yeah, it's been a while.
And it's going to be, and the last game that they brought out was 2018. So we're looking, if it comes out next year, we're looking at what is that, 6-year cycle, 5-year cycle? Like that's plenty of time. And if it is 2025, that's a 7-year cycle. So it's we're getting closer and closer. I'm sure it's going to come out, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Rockstar's some of my favorite developers in all gaming. And when I'm critical of them with their gameplay, it's because I know what they can do and how good they are. Yeah. And I know how immersive their games are, especially GTA's.
I always had a problem with Red Dead. With Red Dead 2, you're out in the open world, you're doing everything, you're sucking the poison out of some dude's thigh for some reason. And then when you're in a mission, getting that yellow fucking square on the little mini map, or you're fucked. The mission failed. Like, I don't like how controlled that stuff is. Like, for example, I could have gone up into an open window to get into a building during one mission, and because I actually did that, I found a way on the roof and did that, the mission failed. I had to go down through the front door.
because of a cutscene, right?
But you hear what I'm saying though? Like this,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
something
that's
about
bad. It's
that.
because
Me.
it's the linear but not linear. Like they are trying to keep it open world and linear at the same time. Nakey Jakey made a fucking awesome video describing that. For like I think it's like 45
I think
minutes.
it's just bad game design. I don't think they were trying to do anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. That he talks about that and the game design and everything and how bad it was and why it's bad. It was really good, man. People need to check that video
why it's really
out,
great,
and-
but it's bad, right? Like
yeah,
it's-
he's like this is good, but then it fucks with you. Like it's like they can't hold on to that moment of greatness without basically pushing like a linear narrative on you. Or if it is linear and it gets good, it's open world.
now
again,
get in
and
that fucking square.
yeah, it's like it's just dumb, and that's what sucked. The thing that he did in the video was what you said, the window thing, because it was a barn, right?
Did
And I
he?
was like, oh, I'm gonna yeah, and I did the same thing.
That's
I
funny.
was like, oh shit, I did that because I climbed the barn, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump the window. And
Mine
fucking
was not
headshot
a
these
barn, though.
fools. Mine was a barn. I was like, I'm gonna headshot these dudes from the rafters, and I went there, and it was like failed. Get out, bitch.
You're supposed
And
to
I
shoot
was
him in
like,
the
"All right."
kneecap, bitch. Get back in that yellow circle.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
That's
Yeah.
a bad boy. Do it over.
Hey, I'm gonna read a few of these chats. Hargy, you can group the rest if you want. But Human, shout out to him. He says, seriously, what is the last Xbox game to review poorly besides Redfall? And that's that deserved it. It's been forever. No conspiracy. Again, I agree with you. I think when people say that Xbox games review poorly, they're forgetting about most games from Xbox Game Studios don't review all that poorly.
Yeah,
And
in
I'm
fact-
right there with you. Sir
in
X-Man,
fact,
by the
this-
way. Go ahead, D. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, in fact, this generation, they've actually had better reviewed games than PlayStation for the most part.
They have.
For the most part, yeah. Sir X-Men says, at least give me a Forza demo like before shows. Not only that, they need to release that bitch to everybody on Xbox Live. Sir X-Men, good to see you, brother. And then Joshua, big shout out to you. He says Starfield is what's called. Go ahead, Cargy. Get this one, and then I'll keep the next topic.
Yep, Joshua, $5. Starfield is what's called hard sci-fi, which means it obeys the rules of the universe we live in, and as far as we know, at this time, we are alone. Yeah, that's facts too, I guess. But that doesn't mean they can't go.
There
into
better be
crazy
aliens.
characters and stuff. But anyways, Exposed 305, $20. Xbox till I die or till it dies. Enjoying every bit of it until I die.
Oh shit!
Cool, dude.
Shout out to you, man.
Papabaco 72, $10. Hit that like button, chat. Show these peeps some love, please. P.S. D-Batch, your new PC in your video was awesome looking, man. Props.
Oh shit!
Thanks.
Shout out to Papa Baco.
All right. Yep. Exposed 305 again, $5. Zocker is a Nintendo Zelda dink. God of War Rider fraud.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what the fuck just happened.
You're gonna have
but
to get
I
out
like
the
it.
encoder book for that one. Shout out to Exposed.
He said dink.
Yeah, you don't know what a dink is?
He said dink.
You
I'm
little
just saying,
bitch-ass dink.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Whoa.
Hey, I don't know what dink is either.
Anybody remember what that? Never mind. I ain't gonna fucking.
Hey, Zach, you know that Inspector Gadget game you were hyping up, and you said it was gonna look fire and it was gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, the developers had said, "Hey, it's coming to PlayStation," you know, and I mean, listen, nobody wants this damn Inspector Gadget game. Nobody here anyway, I would imagine, right? But the developer came out and said, "Yeah, it's come out and everything, but fuck Xbox, basically." And people were like, "What the hell?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we haven't really thought about it. You know, if we get enough engagement, that's basically what they're saying. If we hear from the fans, we'll go ahead and make a port for that too." It's like, why the fuck? I commented on this, fucking Inspector Gadget. I'm almost embarrassed too, but I just said, hey, it's sad that you even had to consider the Xbox fan base to begin with. Had to go back and remember that you might want to make a game for them as well. You know, not interested in this game personally, but something I noticed because it's true. Like, I don't give two shits about this game, but I only commented because I think they should know. It's pathetic that this kind of tactic is really being used on a lot of Xbox games primarily, where developers will come out and announce shit for other platforms. They'll say, "Oh, well, if we get enough engagement," that's what they're saying in parentheses, "then we could consider doing a port." And 30 minutes later, they came out and said, "Oh, we didn't know there were Xbox fans out there. Yeah, we're going to make a port for this now." And again, that's all paraphrasing in my own words, but that's basically what they said. Like, "Oh, we heard so much fans and so many passionate people out there that also want this game on Xbox. Well, we decided to do a thing for that too." It's like, you really had to do that? Like, is that really what you thought? You didn't think that people gave a fuck? Or you tried to, was that just disrespecting the fan base from the beginning, Umber? Or you think they were being bitches? Or what's going on?
I think all of that, bitches being all. The thing is, like, I look at it as a bigger issue overall, though, because this is just a microcosm. This is one dev doing that. Then you look at other devs who have skipped Xbox and just said, "Well, we don't think you'll find a market there." And I think that's something that Phil and team have to make sure to counteract. You know, none of us care about playing some damn Inspector Gadget. You know, I loved the show when I was young and watched it. You know what I mean? Seeing Dr. Claw rub the cat and all that. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I keep getting in trouble for saying
He
that.
said Dr. Claus rubbing a cat.
Yep.
I'll get
Erectors.
you next time.
Yep. So when are you pre-ordering this?
My thing is, it's like, yeah, I couldn't care less about the game, but at the same time, I don't want Xbox to be, our community to be denied anything. It's like, give us everything that you give in PlayStation, especially if it's third party in particular, right? So it's not that we want it; it's just the fact that you're deeming to, like we're irrelevant, and that's the part I dislike. But so it shouldn't have been a case where we have to go to them and be like, "Hey, you're gonna bring it to us too, bitch." Like, it shouldn't have been the case. And I saw Xbox fans, going to the,
Who gives a fuck?
I
Like I'm just saying, bro. Like, no, I'm not even talking about this game specifically. If a developer's like, oh, if we get engagement, I'm like, all right, then go fuck yourself. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I have so many games to play. At some point, I'm like, cool. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. That's on you. Like, that's on them. If you don't want to hit a new market or if you don't want to try it over here, then whatever. Like, go do what you're gonna do. I don't care. Like, that's just like, that's me. And I don't think I don't like where Xbox fans are basically going out there and doing Xbox's job. Yeah. Like, it's Xbox's responsibility to get the games on the platform. We are consumers. Bring it to us. You go talk to the developer and be like, why isn't it coming? Like, that's on them. I don't give a shit.
Shut up, bad mother.
And I'm just like, I'll just ignore them. I'll be like, all right, cool, no game here. That's fine. If you're not on the platforms I'm going to play on, then I'm not going to play it.
But that's the problem with that mentality is you got games you then look forward to, like Baldur's Gate or something else, right? Let's replace anything with something you look forward to.
Don't bring up Baldur's Gate because that's
I'm just saying. I'm just saying though, it could be. There's been examples that of maybe IP that you're a fan of, where unfortunately the guys on Twitter from the studio do that type of shit, and that's a mentality that they shouldn't have. They should look at it as an opportunity to gain new fans and to expand what they've already built. I just think that some guys, some studios, fuck Inspector Gadget, be damned. It could be anyone. Random studio number 8. Like, it's just not the right approach, in my opinion. I don't think we should be an afterthought.
And like Zalka said, it shouldn't be a case where we have to go out there and try to campaign for it.
And there are a lot of people in the replies like, "Oh my god, thank you!" Like, stop thanking them for unfucking you.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm like, what?
Well, it's other people telling me to buy it. They're like, "Oh, make sure you buy it now and support it." It's like, no, fuck you. I ain't buying nothing.
Right.
You know, like, I'm not like, after we told you, like, please, like, no one's. I ain't saying please to nobody. You can go fuck yourself. I don't care. Like, it's not happening. Like, I don't care. Like, and this has been going on for a while with, like, Japanese studios. They're like, can we get it here?
Their
like,
target audience anyway. So,
dude, I don't care who's. I don't care who's their target audience.
Is that still a current cartoon? Is that still something that's around?
No,
I have no fucking idea. It's just an example I saw today that was
this isn't
ridiculous.
more about this isn't about this stupid cartoon or Inspector Gadget. This is more about like other games that are not coming here. Like, call it Final Fantasy, call it other stuff. It's like that sucks that it's not here because a lot of people want it. It is a decision of money, but this is a decision of money too. If we see traction, that means they're worried about the sales numbers on this platform or on Xbox. It's like, I don't care.
That's why they need to sell more consoles.
Like, dumb. It's not even just consoles. It's everything.
Money hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Go Gadget money hat, a big ass fucking hat, hit some coins flying everywhere. Fuck. Like I, dude, whatever. Like that whole thing of like, maybe we'll have it here. Then all right, well maybe we'll even give a shit that you're making a game. How about that?
What Bobus has got Joe vibes from this. What the fuck is Joe vibes?
Joe vibes.
He's got like a weird emoji face. So I can only imagine it's something sensual he experiences in his private time.
Maybe he's thinking.
Shout out to Boba Fett Gaming.
He's thinking of, I want to know.
I will say that developer...
Joe, the fucking R&B artist.
Right. I don't want to be a player no more. That's what you're thinking of, Boba.
I ain't a player. I just crush a lot. Listen.
Right.
Oh, shit.
I ain't a player. I just fuck a lot, really.
All right. Well, have fun with that, Baco.
Like, the only thing I don't like was that DLC that didn't come. If you guys remember, wasn't there a game that launched on Xbox and then the DLC didn't come to Xbox because they were like, well, there wasn't a market. And it's like, what? Like some of the people that did play it on
I do remember something like that happening, yeah.
Aren't going to get the DLC? Like, that is horseshit.
So somebody in the chat could probably tell us there was a game. It was recently, right?
It was pretty recent, yeah. I
A couple months ago,
Name, and I'm
there's a
hoping
game that
somebody in
came out
chat
and they brought the
remembers.
DLC to only other platforms and no Xbox.
PlayStation, only PlayStation.
They said, you
been a
know what?
few.
No.
It's been a few games. I mean, that's the thing I said is like, to me, it's a bigger thing than just this damn Inspector Gadget game. It's the fact that a lot of these devs are like, deeming that Xbox is irrelevant. And I think Microsoft has to get on that to make sure that's not the thought process in some fashion. It should not be us having to do that. And I'm not doing it. I'm
Game
not
Brit
going
said
to
the
that.
game was for Fury or Furi, and it was a free DLC too.
Yeah. I feel like it was
I don't know if
probably more
that's,
than one
like-
game because I heard a different name and I can't think of it
Somebody
right
also said Ghost Sniper Ghost Warriors.
That might
another
have been
one
it.
people Said.
That might
There's
have been
another one. So that's two of them from what we see in the chat. Like I don't know. I'm just relying on you guys. And
now. I'm
that's
not
all
saying
good,
it's an
but-
amazing game or great DLC. It's just the principle, I guess.
And this is why, like, I don't want to miss it on anything. I have all platforms, right? Like, when I want to play a Warhammer strategy game, I know that's not going to be on the goddamn console. Like, I got to play those on PC. And and Xbox has been doing a good job actually putting them on Game Pass. So, that like, different stuff like that, like, cool, like, whatever. But for them to be like, oh, we need this and that from people, we need engagement. It's like, fuck you. Like, that's just weird. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and the thing I saw somebody say, well, that's the thing, nobody's going to buy these games anyway. Well, I think you could say that about Sony players. I doubt highly that they're like, man, we got to play some Inspector Gadget, man. You see these?
Oh,
That's
all the-
exclusive, bitch. Or
Right.
was.
Right. You see Penny? Man, she looks.
Nano
How do
also
you-
said Terminator was one, so that's three.
What
with
about
three
RoboCop?
examples.
That shit looks fire.
Oh man, that game looks like.
Shout out to a cute
trash.
perspective. Shout out to the mods, by the way. Boss Man Lita Papa, Obi, Dreadpool, Shoguns, and so many others. Shout out to One Bad Mother. Shout out to Greg E3 Egg. Shout out to Blame Gaming, and again so many others. Avery / Gamebred, Brisket, Boba Fett, Ashtray. I haven't seen him in here, but I'm sure he'll pop in eventually. And of course, everyone else who's watching live, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, tell the buddies too about the show. As Exposed, he had another one too. He says, got two Xbox old about 50 games, and Crimson Sky was the shit, along with bring back Unreal Championship. That is a thing on PC right now, right? Because they did launch it in Unreal, or is that not out on PC? The newest one, Unreal Championship.
Which one?
Unreal Tournament?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
What happened to that?
No idea.
They showed something off to do with Unreal Tournament or Unreal Championship like a couple years ago, I thought.
Yeah, there was something, but nothing recent.
Yeah, it was like 2014, man. Like that's what I think is the last Unreal Tournament game. Like it's been a while, man.
The
Like
fuck?
Jesus.
Hey, Septic Sauce, shout out to you. He says, messaging from prison.
Holding on to the soap.
He says, holding on to the
Did you
soap.
see why? Did you see why?
Don't drop
No,
the soap.
I
Because
did
he was fucking on Twitter. Gaz was on Twitter, and he was in front of the Sony PlayStation in like London or whatever, like the Sony headquarters. And he's like, "They see me out here. They don't want me to come in." And then he turns at the goddamn building. He's like, "I'm going in for Phil Spencer," and the video ends.
Jesus Christ.
He's so stupid, bro.
Gaz is like,
It fucking
Gaz is a
killed
character.
me.
Again, like that's what I'm saying. Like people just give Gaz shit, but they're not actually paying attention to everything Gaz says. And again, he's a good friend. Love Gaz, but you know what? I also love changing the topic as well. It's kind of good in a lot of cases.
It's decent.
Pretty good. Square Enix apparently, they were
go
paid
gadgets
more, or
up.
they were offered more by Sony. That's why the newest Final Fantasy. Which one is it? 500. Final Fantasy 500.
16.
It's 16 officially.
That's
but
why
yeah,
that
you're right,
one
it's
16. That's why that one's not coming to Xbox. And I just got to ask, like, since when do you have to only come out on one platform? Did Sony just say, hey, look, we'll pay you like a lot of the shit to just keep it off Xbox? And Square went to Xbox and said, look, they're offering us $6. Do we give us $8? And they're like, no, we can't do $8, bro. Like that's way too much.
I'll give
and
you
know it.
$6.75.
I wouldn't give them 2 fucking cents. You had to pay me.
Now $3.50.
I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, so that's just my opinion. But apparently, Xbox weren't willing to pay him more, and I'm just like,
I don't think it's the pain.
Ugh.
I don't think it's the money, man. I think it's the dev help. I think that Sony's providing a lot of developer help on this. This is what happened with Callisto, right? Like 150 developers from Sony helped that game.
that still came out on,
Did not help.
Yeah,
that
it did.
game.
It did come out everywhere else.
I
but
don't
I'm
think it's the
saying that it
dev help. I
performed-
think Jez is saying that
performed
Jez is saying, well, yeah, it did. Jez is saying that basically Xbox didn't outbid them.
You know, I saw
Typical Microsoft pieces of shit.
I saw Miles Pierre speak on it too. He said from what he's heard from people he knows that Sony also paid for like marketing or at least made the marketing very lucrative for Square Enix. And
which is a massive part of the budget, right?
Yeah, and my thing is about it though is like Microsoft, what are you doing in that situation? I can only reason that Square is probably trying to charge them 2 to 3 times more than what they would charge Sony. Because otherwise, it's like, why would you allow that to happen? You've got more than enough money to take care of that to make sure and ensure that it's on your platform.
So you're saying it was so much that they're like, we're not letting you fuck us like that. What it is.
I think that's exactly what it is. And if you all, I said this earlier on Boom's podcast. If you all remember or don't remember, I'll say this: Microsoft, when they were entering into the gaming sphere, right? They were trying to buy Square to enter in. That was going to be their end. They were going to own Square Enix and then launch with that. But Square
talking about like in 2000 or 99 or what are you talking about?
Yep,
around then, yes.
Yep.
I thought they were going to buy Nintendo.
No, well, they tried for
That
Nintendo
was one of
too.
them.
Yep. They tried for them also, but Square charged them. They said like so much. If you watch the documentary, they speak on it. They charged them so much. They like nope and walked away from it. So
smart decision.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put it past Square to be like, oh, you're super rich, which makes sense. I mean, it's a multi-trillion-dollar company. Yeah, I can see them saying, yeah, we're going to try to charge you up the wazoo. So that's what it is, and I think Microsoft is like, nah, no, thank you.
I don't think that's why. I think they said, fuck Microsoft. We've always fucked over Microsoft when it comes to what we're willing to give you for the same dollar just because you're Microsoft and Xbox. And, I don't know how deep that stuff runs into, the territories of what brands and where, but they've always favored Sony, and I think that's a fact. Hargy, what do you think happened here with this bidding situation? And again, another Final Fantasy probably that will never see Xbox for some that care.
Do we know the time frame of this? Because that could be another factor, right? If we're talking like 2017, or we're talking like 2021, right? When
the Final Fantasy that's not out yet, so I have no idea.
Yeah, so like as far as the bidding for that, because my assumption is this happened a while ago, right? Because that was shown. Was it 2021 by Sony? Is that when
I think it was 2020. They showed the
2020. Okay, so that means this negotiation.
In 2016 was when Final Fantasy 15 came out, and then you got to remember that there's also the Final Fantasy remake that came out in 2020. So I feel like this deal between Square Enix and Sony has been going on for a little while.
Yeah, I do think they had Xbox on their platforms on their website at one point, and it was removed for that game, if I do remember correctly. But don't hold me to that.
Yeah, and I think it could just be that, right? So they were in that existential mode, right? Are we going to be around or not? And Phil was working with Satya to figure out what the next stage of Xbox is. They didn't have a lot of money. That's the problem, right? They did Money Hat, by the way, with Square Enix. They did that one with Shadow. What was it? The Tomb Raider game. Was it Shadow Tomb Raider? Whichever one it was, like the second.
I think that was 2016.
Yeah, and that was $100 million.
2015.
Right? So,
that was 2015 because it came out when Fallout did, and it
Forza
got
6,
destroyed.
Same night, I picked up both of them at the same time.
Did I
went to Forte's GameStop and said, "Hey, man," and
I went to Forte's GameStop and smacked him and took him. It was great.
All right, that's rude.
But anyway. I think that might have been it, right? Is like Microsoft wasn't investing a lot because they didn't have a lot. And then, once the thing changed, it was like 2017-ish, right? Whatever, 2017, 18, when they finally said, okay, yes, we're going to invest in this. We're going to go all in on gaming, is when the checkbook opened. But it probably was just too late. I'm guessing, this is all guesses, that this was all done when Microsoft was not able to spend a lot of money and Sony was like, we're going to spend the money. So, yep, it happened then. Since then, Square has done quite a bit to actually appease Xbox as well, right? They put most of the Final Fantasies on Game Pass. They put the first big AAA game, Outriders, into Game Pass day and date. They lent their development teams over to Microsoft to make their games. I don't think it's really that. I think they just want money. And at the time, I just don't think Microsoft had that money.
I look at the other way. I look at it as they made a deal with Xbox for Outriders, a game they were never confident in.
Yep.
They held all the shit that they know people want for Sony, and I don't think that this deal for platform, rights or what. Why does it even need to be a thing? For one, we'll launch everywhere like pretty much most everyone else.
How to make money. That's been their problem, right? They always seem to have cash flow issues. right? That's been their headache, and that's why they keep looking for, hey, we wanted Tomb Raider to make more money. Hey, we wanted Marvel Avengers to make more
It
money.
performed
just-
under expectations.
I
Yeah,
just feel
and
like they don't understand how much money is there if they just launch on multiple platforms and actually make a quality product, you know. But Final Fantasy, you know, holding it again.
I think they're quality, but because their games rate pretty well. Forspoken, put aside, but their games rate pretty
But
well.
Guardians of the
And they've
Galaxy
done
was
this
like a
with
breath of fresh
Nintendo.
air, and that was from a
Love-
Western team, really.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
Guardians. But you know,
And-
one bad mother makes a good point. He says at one point Square was bringing their MMO, had all Game Pass, all those Game Pass games. I think Sony got aggressive with Japan when they saw what Microsoft was doing, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was at a time
actually-
Phil Spencer was going to Japan like 5-6 times a year.
Just hanging out.
He was just going there and he
He's
was
like-
locking deals down, and that's
He's like,
That's what
"Konnichiwa, we hear you." Konnichiwa.
Stupid.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very
what
viable.
the fuck?
And PlayStation also had to make moves, right? So I don't put it past them that PlayStation's like, hey, we've had association with Final Fantasy, we want to make this locked on us, and we're gonna pay premium dollar for this. Let's just get it done, right?
Uh-huh.
It is what it is. So
I think they got on Twitter Hargate and they saw what pissed off Xbox fans. Some of them are like, yeah, they really hate this shit. Let's lock it down. Fuck them.
maybe, right? But
Make some noise.
Whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes to win the generation, and they did, right? They're doing what they need to do. So I think that's what it is more so than anything else. I don't think Square has a specific thing against any platform. They just want a bag, and if you're gonna bring a bag, they'll take it. that's kind of what they do.
But the bag has to be much larger if you're one company over the other, though. As you talked about.
Yeah, so
I think they got
like
something against
Octopath
Microsoft.
Traveler is another one where Octopath Traveler first came out on Nintendo, then it came out on Xbox, and never came to PlayStation, and then the second one only came out on PlayStation and Switch and didn't come to Xbox.
Mhm.
And again, it's just bag. It's whoever writes a bigger check. They're
That's
just happy with
that's
that.
what I believe too. I think it's just a
Yeah.
money thing, and I think that they're trying to charge Microsoft twice, if not more, 3
Yep.
times maybe more than what they charge Sony, and Microsoft is like, no thanks.
They're like, we'll just start a shell company and we'll buy the rights under that name and then we'll pay $8.
That'd be funny.
I don't know. It's just it's interesting to me.
Another way to get around it.
Yeah, Hargy, there was something going on over here with China approving the purchase of Activision Blizzard. Did you see that?
Yep, of course. So that's another one done. So after the EU approval last week, at the end of the week, China also approved. That just leaves sort of the CMA on its own little island there, and quite pun intended. And that's kind of what's holding it up at this point. The gamer lawsuit promise was May 22nd. They had to wait until then. That has lapsed. So
What are the odds that Genghis Khan gets her way and blocks the deal?
which one? Sorry.
Genghis Khan. What are the odds that she blocks the deal?
Oh, I mean, she's already trying to sue to block it, right? So, but she has not actually put in an injunction. So right now they're allowed to close. I don't think they will. I mean, they could, but I think they're going to wait for Australia and New Zealand to finish up. And once those are done, they'll figure out what to do with the UK. But yeah, they're kind of there. I'd say it's a very good chance it now closes. But they have to figure out the UK mess and see what they want to do with it.
What were the stipulations around getting it approved in China? Was it just like?
There's no stipulations. They had nothing.
I'm sure they got
didn't
something out
have
of it,
any-
like something.
No,
crazy.
they didn't want. They didn't
No,
want any.
it's-
No, they didn't want
it's
any
passed through.
remedies, and the reason why they don't want it is because China invests in a lot of American companies, and they obviously we were talking about Tencent and all those. It's not just them; it's a lot, and they're basically like, if we block this, then the U.S. is going to be like, hold up, all right, well then we're going to start blocking you on your shit. So that's the funny thing. This whole thing is a really big mix. The deal was getting close to being dead, and the EU and China actually putting it through and approving it has completely revitalized everything around it.
The deal
Whereas
was supposed to be dead.
Yeah, 100,
Listen.
dude. If the EU blocked it, it would have been fucking.
They would've made
It
concessions,
would have
though.
been pretty much.
No
No, if they
concessions. I'm
blocked it
saying
without
like
concessions. Yeah.
if they blocked it without concessions, then that's why it's funny for the CMA now, because the CMA Brexit was basically a big majority of it was like, hey, we can't get jobs here or do this because the EU's regulating on a lot of the stuff we're doing. And then the CMA regulates on it, and the EU's like, we approve this deal. And they're like, and then now Microsoft's like, we're going to pull out of a lot of this tech and jobs that we promised to the UK. And the UK government's like, oi! And that's just
That's
what's going
Australia.
on.
Yeah, I've been looking a lot into this. Like all last week, I just covered this, and I've just been reading documents and pages and
Those
pages
thumbnails are
of
fire,
text.
D.
and and
I thought that was Dustin Laguerre.
Yeah. You decided that was the one to copy, huh?
his are on the right, mine's on the left.
Shout out to D, man. You gotta check
It's
out
on
his
the
videos.
right, mine are on the left.
D, I saw your video on this. It was like 30, 40 minutes long, man.
Yeah, I think that's the longest I ever talked on a video. Damn
Holy
it, man.
shit.
But let me tell you, there's just so many different layers to this thing. So the UK, there's like a misconception that they can't pull out of the UK. They absolutely can pull out of the UK. Now, Microsoft initially said that they want China, they want the UK, EU, and the FTC, like the USA. They want all of those regions to approve it. Now, what's going on with the CMA? They can just simply have a waiver and exclude their deal from the UK. So the UK would remain how it was before the merger. So they wouldn't be able to do their Activision games in the cloud or offer it in Game Pass in the UK. It would just have to be how it was previous to the merger, and they could pull out of there. Now, they don't want to do that because obviously they want all the consumers are in the UK, and obviously gamers in the UK don't want that because they want to play these games. So I don't understand how the CMA says this is good for the UK, because it's bad for consumers, it's bad for business, it's bad for revenue in the UK. It's just an absolute shit show. So they can pull out of the UK. Now they are gonna wait for like Canada and New Zealand. I think Canada comes up. I think it's like the first or second week in June. It comes up, and most likely it's gonna pass here. Like I'm not hearing anything about it failing, and like Canada's a little bit more liberal and free, so they're not gonna be so gun ho on it. They'll understand it because they understand gaming and the industry a little bit better than some of these other boards. So I don't expect it to not pass in Canada. Now, what they can do, like they could actually close it. Now, there's a misconception that they could close it after the 22nd, or they could pull out. They can't really do that because the CMA needs to finalize it. So they need to finalize their order saying, yeah, this is our final order. We're blocking it. No concessions, yada, yada. Then they can go apply for their appeal or just apply the waiver and just pull out. And then they would have to go to the FTC or to the courts out there and acknowledge to the FTC that we're going to close the deal. Then the FTC would have to file a preliminary injunction. And based off of the Gamers case, there was a Gamers case last week. And based off of that case, they lost it, and they lost it on the merits that Microsoft would not, change Call of Duty.
The case hasn't gone away, D. The case is still there. They just lost the attempt
Yeah,
to make an injunction.
because they can't prove it. So
Yeah.
my point is that if Microsoft were to do that with the FTC and a federal judge would rule the same way that they did on this Gamers case, Microsoft could then just close the deal, and then after that, if they're found guilty in court or whatever, they would have to deal with fines or whatever.
Phil Spencer's going to jail. Like fuck you, bitch.
No. That doesn't happen with these kind of things. It's a company, not the.
Yeah, they would get fined. If anything, they would get fined.
Fines. That's
right?
the best that can happen.
Yeah, it'd be fine. So in theory, they can push it through. They're not going to do that. So all these idiots saying that the deal is dead, like you guys don't even know what you're talking about. I really do have a lot more confidence that this deal will go through. I just don't know in what state it'll go through. Will it go through with the CMA? Like I don't understand. Like,
well, I mean, of course, everybody was more confident once the EU, and then China did it. It saved it. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah,
that is what happened. Everybody was waiting. Everybody that was saying like, oh, we're totally fine before the EU's decision, it wasn't. There's a reason why a lot of people were a little nervous and why Xbox wasn't talking about it, and a lot of people were kind of chilling because they were waiting for that, because the EU and China was huge, and then the rest of the territories are good, but obviously the CMA and this FTC and the EU were the big ones. And to some extent, apparently, China was a big one. And so that's that. Now that those are done, it's okay, what can we do now for these remedies? And the remedies that the EU got, they said it was more than enough. They were like, we're totally fine with it now. So we'll see what happens.
If I had to guess, I would say that the FTC, they're going to lose their case. Their grounds are just really weak. I think if you want to concentrate on this case, we really need to see what happens with the CMA. And there's a lot of pressure on them, man. They got grilled in front of the parliament. You got chancellors,
the stuff we saw,
calling them out.
And
damn chancellors
we haven't seen.
I mean, let's be real. They didn't get that grilled. They CMA held their ground there. I was watching it. I watched like the whole 15 minutes of whatever the hell that was, and the CMA did not sit there.
Portions of what they
did.
It
was like a very exactly.
Closed door stuff that they did that was much more. So
Yeah.
we don't know what the full extent is. This is certainly something that's kind of irked the UK government. So we will see what happens. They have not
And
finalized, by the way. So
no,
their block is not final. It's
no.
still in preliminary, like this is our result, and then it's in gather feedback mode,
Hmm.
and then they will actually finalize that. I think it's early June. So it's actually not blocked. It is blocked as far as their decision, but they have to finalize the decision. So we don't know. This is very unprecedented. None of this
Yeah.
is usual. Like so, this you may just see some sort of reversal. Who knows?
Oh,
Just like the console SLC was dropped out of nowhere, that may happen. We don't know, right? Because of
The
all
console just didn't matter.
all
oh,
that's just
and
happened.
also too, before I
So
forget, Cat, the review board that's going to review it after it's finalized, they can rule. I forget the exact name of it, but they can rule that the CMA was unreasonable in finding their result, and that no other body could come to the same resolution that they did. And if they do that, they would throw it back to the CMA, obviously. But the initial reasons why they blocked the deal, they wouldn't be able to use that because Cat ruled it, unreasonable, right? So they'd have to come to a new conclusion. And at that point in time, their hand can be forced. But there's a lot of pressure on them. Like behind closed doors, they have to produce the meetings that they had with the FTC and what was discussed in those meetings and how long before the final decision did they meet with the FTC. They actually have to give that to the Parliament. It was said in the hearing, and they said, after the meeting, we'll give you all that information. We can't disclose that right now, and some of it they can't disclose because it's under confidentiality. So there's a lot there. Like if you read between the lines, like and they actually addressed this in that meeting. They said, a lot of people are saying that we're doing the FTC's bidding and we're not doing the FTC's bidding. They actually addressed it. They argued that this doesn't go against the UK's goal for economic growth, and the one guy said, well, should we just let a corrupt corporation come in for economic growth? And like they kind of doubled down on it. But when you really look at the whole of it, they're so far off, and the EU's decision was perfect because any concessions that were there, any concerns that were there, the concessions were made. And I think it was fair to allow these cloud competitors to have a free license. And then Microsoft, on top of that, said, you know what? It was just ordered for the EU, but you know what? We're going to do this worldwide. We're going to offer this to all cloud providers throughout the world. So really, the CMA's argument looks extremely weak. And I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. What's going on?
Always
Because the
has
decision
looked
just doesn't make
extremely weak.
sense, man.
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
I think
It
you
was
guys did a
Well,
great job
well,
covering that, and then we
not
do
even
gotta
just
get going
this.
soon. To a new
Yeah, but
topic.
not even just this. One more thing. But not even this. I will say this: that once the EU approved it, like I said, Sony changed their. It wasn't just the. They are like spreading apart. Where now Sony has put out a team where they're looking to expand and do acquisitions themselves, and not just for gaming. Like some of it is for gaming, but also entertainment in general. And this is something I brought up like months ago. Once this deal's done, that's when the party starts because everybody's gonna go fucking crazy. Sony's going to go crazy. Everybody is, because now it's complete competition across the
Yeah.
board. And
Yeah.
this is where it starts. And Sony already started that. They are diverging into like multiple teams where they're going to be grabbing more stuff to buy. That is what
Yeah.
they literally said. That came out yesterday. So I think a lot of people need to get ready for the gaming industry, the entertainment
Yeah.
industry. Shit's going to change big time.
Yeah.
And if people think that Microsoft or Activision is discouraged, Bobby Cox came out with a statement today saying, we're allowing these games to go on like Nvidia and all these cloud deals, blah blah blah. It's going to happen, and we can't wait to bring you all of the content once this deal. I don't know if he said once or when we finalize this deal. So they're going full force ahead with this, and it's going to get a little bit messy. I do believe so, but at the end, I think we're going to have this deal done. I think Microsoft has invested too much time, and I don't think they want to lose a $3 billion. And the fact that Activision is still gun-ho to get this deal done lets me know that they truly want to get this deal done. They truly want this partnership with Microsoft, because they could just lay off right now and just get that $3 billion. So I expect this deal to go through. I think we're probably going to have to wait till like mid-June till we have a greater understanding of where this deal is going. But I think it's going to get
That's probably
I think it's going to get done. And also too,
Yeah.
there was an update today. Sony has a case coming up in the UK, and it's going into courts. Some gamers brought some lawsuit against them, saying that because they own a digital storefront or something, they control the prices and
Yeah, so
they're
that
raising
one's
the
a little
prices.
different in that Nintendo and Microsoft both allow digital stores to sell their games. So you can go to like CD Keys or Eniba or something like that. You can buy those games, and also retailers, and you can buy digital copies of games and get discounts, right? Whereas Sony does not allow that. So
Right.
because of that, it's a single source, and that is, in their terms, monopolizing that platform. And they have a point. So we'll see where it goes. But
Here's the kicker to that though. This is going to be in front
Wrap
of
it
the
all
same
up,
courts.
D-Batch.
This is going to be in front of the same courts and the same judges that are going to handle Microsoft's appeal to the CMA. So they're going to have some experience with Sony and the crap that they do. They're going to be a little bit more versed. So I think that case is going to be very, very interesting, man. And I fully expect it to get sent back to the CMA. But what are they going to do at that point? Because like they're gun-ho on not letting this deal go through. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, I think we can all agree that whatever happens, it should happen sooner than later. And again, you know, it's a pretty boring topic to me, but you guys made it tolerable. I'll be honest. You really summed it up. And I think it's important to note that Sony, whatever happens, I think Sony knew that a lot of this shit would play out how it did. And I think a lot of it could be a stall tactic as well. Because there's no way you do that many things that you're bitching about. You're so hypocritical as Sony have been, you know, doing literally everything that you've said Microsoft would do or are doing and not know it first, right? So hopefully Sony get what's coming to them. That's my opinion. Goes through or not, honestly, at this point, it is what it is. I don't even care. I just want it to be over. Though, if it did go through, you know, that would be a win for people that might expect certain things in Game Pass eventually. We will ultimately see. 9Life, shout out to you, man. He says, I wonder if Colin Moriarty would be against consolidation if Sony bought them. I don't think so. I have a weird feeling about that. I don't think so. But I do have a feeling that we got to move forward and talk about PlayStation. Their showcases relatively soon, huh? You're talking about tomorrow. So they've got they got a lot of. They're going first. This is their E3 basically, right?
Yeah.
We actually had a talk about this going first thing. It was me, I think Hargeet, Rand, and we actually came to the conclusion that this isn't the first time they went first.
No, it's not the first time.
No, in 2020 they went first when they had one in June, and then Xbox had theirs in July, and then Sony had another one in September. And the June one was way bigger, had a lot like of their first party stuff like that. But this is, I think,
traditionally though they're in the trash can like waiting. You know,
100%. They're always waiting, and then they come out and are like, "We're taking this out."
We
right?
saw what Microsoft did, and you know, we're going to go ahead and capitalize.
We're not going
on
to shoot ourselves in the throat like they did. I think it's going to be a. I think it's going to be a fucking war. I think this is going to be a war.
Yeah.
I think these showcases are going to be insane. I'm really looking forward to every single one of them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Sony's. I want to see Wolverine. I want to see Spider-Man. I want to see.
So what are the latest and greatest, most credible leaks when it comes to this showcase? I'm not talking Foxy or any of that bullshit. Like
Ghost of Tsushima 2 is not going to be there. Jeff Grubb said that. And a couple other studios are probably not going to be there. But
what about the infamous remake?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything of that. Apparently, the Gears collection is getting a lot of traction, and that actually might happen. A couple insiders have heard about it.
I
don't want that either.
It's not even worth talking about. We've talked about that thing 1,000 times. If it happens,
yeah, but now Special Nick's going to
went
other
for Fable.
stuff. Because Jez actually went back on it too. Jez was like, "Oh, he said something about like maybe he's heard some stuff now." And then Special Nick was like, "It was fucking me since the beginning."
I'm telling you, like this is a thing people have talked about since the original Xbox. Like it's nothing new. The Gears collection, the Marcus Phoenix collection, it's had several names. Ultimately, if it will come out, it makes sense in time, especially to bring those games to PC, which will be the biggest driver of that, in my opinion. They want people to experience Gears 2 and all that stuff on PC who have never played it. But, one of the most credible things that Sony are likely to show tomorrow, and we're talking, big games that people are excited for. So you think Wolverine will be there, which better have Doom style, glory kills. You're thinking factions, you're thinking, which is just Last of Us 2 multiplayer.
I mean, obviously Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy
will be there. Spider-Man 2 will be there.
Spider-Man.
I mean, who knows? I think there's going to be
Will the
I
Gran
think it's
Turismo
Brian
Turismo
thing.
movie
I think
be
there's
there?
going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of third-party marketing deals and a lot of fucking basically them money hatting stuff, and then also PC announcements like Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet and Clank, Demon Souls, all those types of games
All
coming
of
to
it.
PC. Like they're going to come to PC over
I think-
time, but I don't know, man. I think they're going to go all out with the
PSVR
third
2,
party.
dude, is what's gonna be there.
PSVR
Yeah,
2
there's
is going
gonna
to
be
be
a lot
there
of
too.
PSVR
Gonna
2
be
games.
there.
We're hearing that
And
what's that game? Half-Life Alex is gonna be there.
is coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I
Lion
think,
Saber,
and
Saber,
I also,
Beat Saber,
yeah.
whatever it was, that thing that
Yeah.
we
Whee!
had sued over.
and if I had to guess, like the big shocker, I think one of the two will have them. I think it's probably more likely Sony does because just the way that they spend their money. But I think we're going to see a little teaser to Grand Theft Auto 6. We're going to get a little teaser at the PlayStation show.
I would say I don't think so, D, just because typically they don't do that. I
It's a
spoke about it.
teaser. A teaser.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think
tease,
so.
just a
Grand
tease.
Theft Auto
They
doesn't need to
typically-
be at a show, bro. They
Yeah, they
fucking,
typically
they'll
do their
fart
own
out a
thing.
tweet on a Thursday at 2 a.m.
Yeah, but what if
Still
Sony
need
fart
this
out,
one.
you
If
know,
Sony-
$50
if
million
Sony pays
or
for
whatever,
it,
right?
If,
Like,
if Sony pays for that, though, it's a different thing. Why would
Yeah.
you not take that money in your pocket? and
I
get
mean,
your
I
game
could, I
showcased?
hear you on that, but they don't need their money to do it either, right? Like it's not like they're like, we need you to
More
do
money's better than less money, man. So
it. Yeah, I mean, but they're in a
it is
position
Take
where
Two.
they
They're
can
fuck
refuse.
faces after all.
Yeah, if anything, I would expect. If anything, I would.
Uh,
If they
and-
appeared at any show, probably the Summer Game Fest. But I don't think
Metal
they're
Gear
doing it.
Solid, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake
Yeah.
Are they
is
at
another
Summer Game
one.
Fest?
What about Phantom Dust?
They
They
will
bring
have
that
their
over to
games
PlayStation.
as a service games, right? They're gonna have to have some of them out there.
Hmm.
So maybe we see factions show up, but they said they have 10 of them, right? Some of them got canceled.
You thinking they're
but-
gonna like actually reveal some of these new service games they're gonna be
I
bringing?
mean, I would expect them to, right? I don't know. Like at some point they got to show them, right?
Huh, maybe
Yeah,
a Destruction All Star
Silent,
sequel.
Silent Hill. There's a lot of stuff that like there's so much that's going on within it that that Sony can show that I think it's just gonna be a fucking banger show, man. I think they're gonna go all out.
What's that
I
one
think
game we
that
talked
Xbox
about
is
a week
gonna-
or two ago? Quantum Error. Remember they
Yeah.
showed that? Like, I mean, that still isn't out. Maybe they'll probably show that again because it's
That
closer.
doesn't look impressive at all to me. But I was going to say, as far as Metal Gear Solid, now that Steam has been taken out of their sales a little bit, now that we know it's not exclusive, and it might be the case for.
I mean,
other,
it never really was like a big. That was for me at least. I didn't care about like Metal Gear Solid 3 being exclusive. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah,
Like I just never. It was never like, oh my god. Like I just whatever. That's not.
I think it's
they
the
need
first
something
look
bigger
at
than that.
whatever it is. That.
Yeah. Star Wars. The Old Republic. The whatever the SOTOR the remake. That
KOTOR,
apparently
yeah.
Jeff Grubb KOTOR. Thank you. Not to the Old Republic. He said that's probably never being made. Jeff Grubb
God.
said that it went through development hell, and then they went to Saber Interactive, I think.
Mhm.
And then from there, it's just been still in
And
development,
Saber's
so
over in
don't
the
expect it.
Ukrainish region, I think.
So just don't even worry about that. Like,
Which is
it's-
crazy. That's the shortest development hell I ever heard of. But damn, like they really unveiled that thing soon, like real early.
Yeah, they did, and then that thing just went away. I like I said, Wolverine. If it's something like Wolverine or something like that big, and of course there's the Sony insiders that think they're insiders but aren't really insiders that are being super vague, and they're like, just wait till this gets announced, and it's like, what's this? It's gonna blow your mind. Well, what is this that you're
You'll
talking about?
see.
It's just you'll see eye emojis. It's like fuck off. I hate that
Hashtag
shit. I
hashtag
hate
force
that
PSVR
creatures.
Slim.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, guys. Every insider thing that you see that some guy put a vague tweet out, he got it from me. Eye emoji. There you go.
What
I'm the
fuck?
insider. Everything. And then when it gets announced, I'm gonna pick and choose
Oh,
which one I
shit.
was talking about and which one I saw. Get the-
I think they'll show Death Stranding too. I think obviously,
Don't put that evil on us.
yeah,
I
don't do
know.
that.
I don't
Don't
want
do
to.
I want to
but
deliver some new shit.
I think Spider-Man 2, obviously, I think it'll probably get like 10 minutes, maybe, of a showcase.
Do you
or-
think that one will be on their thing? Because I like Kojima
Stranding?
always has something, with
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 Jeff Keighley.
Keighley,
Good
Well,
point.
right?
last year was a podcast
That's,
announcement.
that's a fair point. Yeah.
I know it was.
Right. a little
I think
podcast.
Sony
We
would
get this
definitely
time.
have
Our
Kojima
podcast
show it there.
has had 2 billion people watch it.
Tune in while Jeff Keighley drinks Kojima's bathwater. So we got Final Fantasy.
Numbers in the background.
Tasty.
Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Afterbirth.
I think
Go ahead.
Now sip.
now Sip. Castlevania. Castlevania.
Lords
I
of
would
the
love to see
Bathwater.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Corey Barlog's game, I want to see that actually announced. I think that might be the case.
I think there is rumor. There's a rumor going around that there might be a Miles Morales type of expansion for God of War Ragnarok that revolves around Atreus. There are some rumors talking about that because if you played Ragnarok,
How do you feel about Atreus after the second game compared to the first?
The second game was amazing. He was way better in the second game.
He was a little bitch at the end of the first game.
He was.
He was just a little. I don't. The second game was amazing, man. And and Fonz put it perfectly. I played the first 15 hours and then I took a break. I just stopped because other shit came out, and then I beat it recently and put 45 hours into it. So like I played the best part of the game, which is after the first 15 hours. It kind of has that Days Gone problem where it takes too long to kind of take off.
Yeah.
So it was so good. It was so epic, and yeah, I liked Atreus a lot more in Ragnarok.
You know, he had his moments. I would say he had some moments in Ragnarok where I was like, "Shut up."
He's a little bitch
But-
still.
Yeah, I was like, "Shut your little ass up." But I liked him. I did like him more than in part one. Part one, I was just like, "Boy, don't have me pull out the boy."
So
Don't have
so we're
pull
not.
out the
Were we
milk.
expecting any kind of like? Sorry. I was just like sitting here reading this. I'm like, so as we went through Spider-Man, went through Wolverine. Like they gotta have something brand new that like people aren't expecting, right?
I mean, one of their first parties is gonna drop something, right? Like someone new is gonna be. I think Sony Bend is ready to show something. They haven't brought out a game since 2019,
I
and
think
they've
they
been
were like
working
put on
something.
support for Last of Us or whatever, right?
They were.
No, they
Yeah.
were, and then they fought back and have their own AAA game now. There's a couple studios like new ones that they were talking about that they created
Haven.
from Haven, right? And then there's also the one in San
Bungie has a
Diego.
new game.
Bungie has a new game. The one in San Diego has been developed for a while. They are from Naughty Dog and a bunch of other studios within Sony.
So you said
then you gotta
Bungie,
think about-
right? So this
Sorry,
is gonna be an
sorry,
Xbox
sorry.
showcase too.
Well, I mean, Bungie, yeah, sure, why not? And then there's also the team, the
Jade.
second team from Guerrilla Games.
What's
Which a
the
lot of
lady's
people
name?
don't
Jade
talk about.
Raymond with her team. I forgot the
Did
name.
you guys know that Insomniac has over 500 people on their team, employees?
Yeah.
They were at like 200 something when Sony bought them, and now they're at 500, like
Mm.
They're like ramp that
um,
shit up.
dude, they're freaking. That's insane. Like,
Well worth it.
Now, just so you know, Jade Raymond, last known for the Battlefront 2 campaign. Hope maybe she'll make something great. We don't know though. I felt like Battlefront 2 from everything that we saw before it launched and all that. You're from the perspective of the bad guy, thinking you're the good guy. I thought that was a really, really good spin, man. I thought it had a lot of potential, but that campaign was not good.
I enjoyed that game. I enjoyed that
Campaign
game a
was
lot.
not
The game, that game looked fucking amazing.
Still does.
It just felt good. Yeah, it still does.
So we know her next game will probably look pretty damn good. Hopefully it's
the
Quantic
way,
Dream. Do we think
tomorrow.
Quantic Dream will be there? Huh? Detroit Become Human was a long time ago.
Nope.
Who knows?
Because they're
Probably
working on
not.
the Star Wars game, so I don't
Hmm.
believe they will. I don't think they'll be
Fucking
there at all.
Star Wars.
They could be at the Summer Show Game Fest though. Maybe they'll show something there because they are scheduled to be there.
Well, only
I
time
believe.
will tell. Chat, let us know what you think is going to be at the Sony Showcase tomorrow. All that matters really, though, is that Stray is coming to Xbox, finally. The Little Cat game is still a banger. Now, what I want to talk about lastly here is the Xbox Showcase. We're running along here, but the showcase, there's been a shit ton of fake leaks. Some of them are fucking hilarious. Big-ass confidential printed across the screen, like
Bro.
like half sideways. Like, yeah, this looks legit, right? I made it in Windows 95 PowerPoint. I put a list up here in the chat. Umbra sent this to me as well. This is... Zucker, what were your initial reactions when you saw some of the stuff on here? Like, D-Batch's favorite.
Jet Set Radio. It's got Crimson Tide or whatever the fuck he liked. Flintlock. It has a bunch of like just games that people know about, and then even games that we talked about on here. Killer Instinct 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says redacted in multiple ones, and it's like, dude, like what the fuck? Like, a lot of the
what game is
lists,
that?
I don't know, it's ZeniMax Online and Compulsion Games and Xbox Game Studios, led by Kim Swift, aka basically everything that's been talked about for the last 3 years, and we've talked about on here, and everybody's had rumors about. It's on this list.
Now, I
And
do
every
think
list,
we'll see Compulsion this year.
I really hope we see Compulsion this year, and if not, then what are you doing, Compulsion? Get your shit together.
Like, oh, fuck, we're supposed to be making a game?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm chilling, eating crumpets.
Yeah, they just hired
I-
a community manager, as I mentioned before. They'll be talking to somebody soon about something. So Compulsion, we'll finally learn what they're doing in full detail, and hopefully it's a step up. To be honest, Hellblade 2, definitely think that'll be there. Forza Motorsport will
Hopefully
definitely be there.
up. Hopefully a big step up for that game too.
Hellblade 1 wasn't bad. You got to beat it. It's actually not like the combat steps up, all that stuff steps up, but it is a game made on $10 million. Like for a game that looks like that.
That's what I'm saying. If they're gonna get like such a big budget and Xbox is funding them, like, yo, I expect you to step it the fuck up, big time. I don't want no. I'm just like I don't know, man. Whatever.
So
That's
your
just me.
problems with Hellblade was
A lot of walking and then whispers, and everybody was like, "What a fucking story!" I'm
sounds like
"Dude,
Sea
what?
of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. What does that have to do with anything in this that I'm talking about?
Age of Empires, the PC port. I don't know why they would wait. Like maybe in a sizzle reel, right? But yeah, that's supposed to hit Xbox this year,
the
right?
studio behind that, Relic Entertainment, the studio that helped them make that game, that did a lot of the heavy lifting, just had some layoffs.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, what
reported
about
today?
What about As Dusk Falls Season 2? Did they have layoffs?
Yeah, that game's actually all right. That story in that game was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for a little picture book game.
I didn't have a
I
problem with
enjoyed
that game.
Avowed is going to be something that you'll probably see something from. That's a game that has been heavily speculated about, but it's apparently pretty big, man. It's doing a lot of things for a team that size. Avowed is one of the most hyped games from their first party right now, and we've seen almost nothing from it except for a few moments of what is presumed to be some kind of gameplay, but we still don't know anything
I
about
have
that.
a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in Avowed because of the team behind it, Obsidian.
They're doing a great job so far.
If that thing falls on its face, I'm fucking rioting. I'm going Dreamcast channel. I don't give a fuck.
You gonna peek through your little fingers at the thumbnail?
I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad.
So
You're gonna
why
have
don't you
to
talk
take a
about what if it does
screenshot.
amazing things though? Because we have reason to presume that
If
it
it
might
does
do that.
amazing things, then I'm gonna be fucking happy. Of course, yeah, I can't wait. That's one of my most
You
hyped
still gonna
games,
peek through your
man.
little fingers?
I'm gonna peek through my little fingers like oopsie.
I was a little negative bitch for no reason.
If it's bad, he's gonna take a
Did you play
screenshot like
Redfall? There's
that.
a reason.
Yeah, trust me. Like, you were the one who wasn't negative about Redfall until after.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. Then I played it, and I was like, trash.
You're like, I don't know. I give this game a 7.5 on console and a 10 on PC. I was like, what the
I'll
fuck?
fucking kill you, bitch.
And I gave Hellboy a
I
fucking
will
8 out of
kill
10.
you.
I got a new thing I can do back.
I know Xbox era 8.5.
Well, you keep bringing up 8.5. I still refuse to believe they gave it 8.5.
Cause I'm just gonna,
No, they did. Somebody gave it that.
Um,
I know I saw it in the Metacritic. So
Hargy, what do you think about this list I threw up in the chat? And what do you expect to see there?
well, all I expect to see is all the games they've already told us about, and hopefully with like a reasonable showing of gameplay, and then maybe a hint that might actually release before I die. So
Jesus. That's fucked up.
damn,
really have-
Hargeet.
very low expectations from the Xbox showcase. I just do, because like they just haven't delivered, and I'm looking for something to say that they can. And to me, deliver means you're competing with what Sony's going to do, and they're not going to do that because.
But you said it yourself. You don't need to bring Sony into
They're going
it.
to money hat, and they're going to money hat, right? I want Microsoft to go do the same goddamn thing, and Phil doesn't like doing it, so I just don't expect it. So I expect them to show me all the games they have first party. And then here are the little deals they made for Game Pass. And maybe there's one AAA in there. And it'll be some smaller game like a Wolong. Okay, cool. And that's what I expect from them. That's it, right? So they had Diablo at the last one, which was really cool. But I just don't expect them to open the checkbook to get a big game and get the money marketing, the marketing for it so that we can get that on this side. I would love to see GTA 6, but do you think that's going to happen? Does anybody think that's going to happen?
Is Peter
Like, I
Moore
just-
going to come back out on stage and be like, hey,
We got.
I don't even work here, but I'm here
Got
for
a
some
tat-
reason.
Holy
tattoo
crap,
of GTA 6 on his ass. Let's go.
Oh, that'd be so good. But yeah, no, that I expect it to be
That's
mid.
so good.
That's what I'm expecting from that showcase. I expect it to be. Here's all the games you saw before. Here we're finally going to tell you the game that you've already heard hints about from Compulsion and In Exile, and here's the actual reveal, and you'll see it in the year 2080. So,
they did say
enjoy.
they're going to have, their partners from around the globe would be there, right? So they're going to have third parties there, which is fucking great. We don't want a showcase with no third parties. Like, that just robs it of some of its magic. They've done that before, where it's pretty much exclusively their own stuff, and just doesn't. It's just not as good with
Hardy's
anyone. I don't
going
care if it's
hard in the
Sony or
paint.
anyone else. Like, it's just not
And
as
I
good
like
with just
it.
I'm
first
just
party.
being realistic, right? Because look, you can just decide that hey, everything they do is great, or you can say, look, Keeley's show is going to be better, and the Sony show I just expect is going to blow away whatever Xbox has. It's just the way it is because they're going to. Go
Why?
get it.
They've had such shitty
That's what they do.
E3s. What?
What? Really?
You forgot about the flute man.
Yeah, get up there and blow
Flute
some
man.
flutes.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. The
So-
Flute Man was when Sean Layden was there. We're talking what Jim Ryan has done, which is just
Now
fucking
they'll-
game.
He'll have the guy out there
Don't
blowing the
care.
controller.
Yeah,
now.
he's like, hey, we're playing Blowjob Simulator.
So what were the games they showed with Flute Man?
That was the Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Trust me,
So-
Sony
that
have had
was
some
a bad
fucking
one?
horrible E3s.
They
I've
have.
captured them on my PC to like show them before, like many times. They've had
See,
some
the,
bad
the
fucking
problem
shows.
is that like this is the problem that we have, that at least I have, and I agree with Hargeet, is that I'm not looking at shows as just a show. I'm looking at it like I said, like a draft pick. Like what happened to the show 2 years later?
Kwame Brown.
Xbox's 2020 show was fucking terrible. So was their 2021 show because
What?
they closed it out with Redfall. Like,
No,
dude,
that
they
doesn't
closed it
mean
out
their
with
show
Redfall.
at the
I don't
time
give a
was.
fuck.
That doesn't mean their show at the
What?
time was terrible. You're
20
fucking
no,
delusional.
I'm saying
2020
I
was
didn't say
dope.
time out. I did not say at the time. I said after a few years.
That's not what we're
Because
talking
all
about.
that matters. That's what I'm talking about. I
You're
don't care
thinking
about how
high
He
the
said,
show
"Fuck the
looks.
topic."
I don't give a fuck how shows look. I give a fuck about the games that come after
Yeah,
the
so
show.
2021 was
They
trash.
haven't come.
2021 was trash. Redfall closed
No, the
it.
show was not
I thought
trash.
the
Now,
show
what
was solid.
ensued was unfortunate with some games, but the show was not bad.
No, I
Okay,
think
yeah,
it was
again,
solid.
I
I
don't
think
care about the
2020 was
show.
even better, actually. I would say
2020
was
with the goddamn pop-in in Craig's face, and they were like, "Fuck, we're delaying." That
now
was
that's
better.
that's just with Halo, but they remember
and
they
we
showed
haven't seen
Stalker.
State
They
of
showed.
Decay. We haven't
Hey,
seen
but
I
State of
think you're
Decay.
thinking
Yeah,
of the
now-
year after.
Hold on, so listen, they showed Stalker too. They announced Fable.
That was
They had
the spring
Outer
showcase,
Worlds.
right? Or the what was
Yeah,
it?
it was
March
it was
one,
a
right?
good. That wasn't that bad actually. And now Halo obviously was there was no reason why that should have been shown the way it was. But outside of that, everything else in that showcase was solid. That was actually a good show.
I had synced it on a cell phone, and it looked
What
perfect to
games have
me.
come out?
What game are you talking about, man? Like 2020? Because those
think it
games
was-
didn't come out outside of Halo.
No, I'm talking about as far as the show itself. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
talking,
he's talking
no,
about the show.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking
Yeah,
about hindsight after the
the
fact, not getting the games, yeah, I get.
That's
what
a
you mean.
different topic, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
It's
different.
like I'm gonna see the
discussion.
same games. That's my problem, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I saw these in 2020. I saw these in 2021. I saw these in 2022. When am I gonna get the games? Like, cause I'm gonna see them again in 2023. I just like what? When do I get the games?
Well, we know
Like,
we're
I'd
getting
rather
some of
just
these
don't
games
show me
like
anything
this
and
year,
give me
right?
the
Like
game.
we're getting some of them this year, which would be great. By the way, we do got to catch up on some of these chats, Hargy, if you don't mind. But chat, I do want to know what you guys expect to see at the showcase. Sony, Xbox, doesn't matter. We're gonna wrap this up. We've been going for a while, and seriously, guys, hit the like button, tell everybody to about the show if you haven't, and let us know your thoughts as we do these chats.
All right, Highlander 001, member for 11 months.
11 months.
Turn 11 months, yeah. Turned 55 on Sunday, and wife pre-ordered a Rogue Ally so I can play World of Warcraft, I'm assuming, and Xbox when I travel. I cannot wait to get it. Great show.
Wear some gloves,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hell
Happy
yeah.
belated.
Venomous Viper, member for 11 months. I refuse to buy any more Square Enix games. They are racist.
Ooh, that's Jesus.
Oh my god.
That's fucked
Oh,
up.
is he talking about that article?
I don't.
Yeah, anybody see that
shit? Wait, I think I might have heard of it.
Final-
For shizzle, my nigga.
Yeah,
What's going on? Stop.
No, dude, there's an article that came out that said like that Final
Ugh.
Fantasy has it's a great game, but it has a lot of niggles that annoy them. And
Oh,
niggles is a
what?
word. Niggles is like a word in
Yeah,
Will you
annoyance.
stop
Yeah.
saying that? Like for
It
one.
literally is a word.
Let,
It
Stop.
exists.
let me say it instead, so
Shizzle, my niggas.
spare yourself.
I think it's just a word. I don't
Get
know.
canceled out here.
Y'all some bitches.
I'm gonna get canceled or like
Hey,
Square's
look,
or whatever.
look,
Push
look.
Square's gonna get
Venomous
canceled. That
Viper.
shit was so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why they would use it. It's weird to use
You
that.
know why they use it. It's a
I think it's-
clickbait.
I just feel like no one's that dumb, but maybe they are.
They are. They
No,
rewrote it
no,
after
no,
that.
no.
You know that, right? They
in all
rewrote that
honesty-
article after
Listen,
that.
D-Batch has a perspective.
In all honesty, like it
Fucking
is an
Canadian.
it is an English word, and niggles means to problems or to wiggle in or concern.
We haven't heard that word in 150 years, D-Batch. Why the fuck is it on the article?
That's what
it
people
does-
were.
was intended to be an
And,
ancient
and,
times.
and, and I'll be honest, like my mom, she lived in England for many years. So when I was a kid, like, man, she made me read dictionaries and stuff. So let's not get into that. Nonetheless, it is a legit word, but when you see it firsthand. I even put up a tweet, making fun of it, saying, "You guys got some explaining to do. What do you mean by you niggles?" But like,
Jesus Christ.
when you
What do
when you see
you
it,
mean by
when you see it firsthand, like it is kind of jarring. But I don't think they did it with malice, and
They
it
did
is
it with
what it is.
stupidity, really. I mean, it's
I
just
wonder if-
A
done.
lot of people are like, this isn't like, it's not just for Americans. Like
Hey.
a lot of people in Britain were like, we use this regularly.
We don't,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but they don't use it in
Now-
article headlines for that reason.
I'm
Like,
squinting
they
my
don't.
eyes
They
at
never use that
British
word.
now. I'm squinting my eyes at them because I think they're using it in different ways. Like I wonder if Final Fantasy got some niggles in it now. I don't believe they do.
Hey, we
man.
gotta move forward to the
All
next
right,
chat
moving
though.
on.
But hey,
Next.
shout out to Venomous Viper. Thanks for fucking up the show a little bit.
Exposed 305, $5. Just want to say, listen to y'all every Wednesday at work and enjoy every bit of it. Well, thanks, man.
Thank you very much, sir.
And Clutchman01, $5. If Sony shows CGI clips with no gameplay of previously announced games, and if they show less from their first-party studios than Xbox, it's a huge L. Okay, that's fair enough.
All right.
Josh Shrank, Canadian 550. Happy that both sides get what they want. PlayStation gamers get their mind blown with the PS Showcase, and you guys get to talk ABK deal for months.
Hey, Josh, why you gotta be a toxic fuck, huh?
Right.
No,
All
we
right.
got some good shit coming, Josh. We don't want to hear you clawing at the door like a cat when you see the Starfield.
Yeah,
When you see somebody- yeah,
Yeah,
outside
stop
the door, all pissed
acting-
off and shit.
yeah, it's very annoying. What other word can we say that's annoying? I wonder.
Anyway, Zachary, what are you
all right,
doing?
moving on.
Shut up, stupid fuck.
Ritsuka Sarioko, $2. Dealer, I hope you have
dude.
a good day, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Seriously. And again, Showcase, I expect to see Forza Avowed. I expect to see Redfall DLC because it's going to no, Redfall, never again, hopefully. And of course, Compulsion, other shit. It's all common sense. What I want to see, though, is Forza and Avowed and shit we already know exists. And then, if they got some stuff there that's good, show us maybe tease some stuff, that's a little bit off.
Better
Maybe,
not be if. You better have this shit there.
well, yeah, they best, right? That'd be preferable, but I'm just saying, hopefully we see finally what the fuck Fable would look like. That'd be nice.
Fable
yeah.
and State of Decay.
Well,
Gotta
State of
see
Decay
Fable.
is probably further off than people think, but who knows? Maybe maybe they didn't have too much freedom and they got their shit together.
Fail.
Remember, State of Decay blamed, they basically were behind schedule and didn't have their shit together because they said that Microsoft they had too much freedom, right? They weren't told what to do in the way that they expected. They expected Microsoft to interfere much more, and for that reason, they fucked it up or they had some troubles apparently. I don't know, but
And also
yeah.
id. I think id should be close to something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's been 4 years since
Doom
they released
Eternal.
the game.
I'm sorry, I was just reading the chat and saw Bone Slave said Nicolas Cage.
Stupid. Bone Slave, don't feed into this.
Nicholas Cage.
Oh, we got another super chat clarifying.
fucking
from
hate you.
Venomous
What do you
Viper.
mean, you niggles?
All right.
$5. I meant when they talked about the hip hop pity walk in Forspoken and no black people in FF16.
Yeah.
So that's what he was referring to.
Uh,
All right.
We just had that whole other conversation for no reason, man. Shout out to Viper though. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know enough about them and who they are to say anything, but I will say that I do appreciate all you guys watching. Again, let us know your thoughts. We're going to do some outros because I'm fucking tired of shit and I need to eat. And
Is it because your neck hurts?
my little neck hurts. That 250-pound high pull, I just
It's
cracking
crick neck.
creaky ass neck.
You did a fucking 250 out of high peel. Wait,
It's like, oh shit,
you died in the corner.
dude. I guess all you know you're getting older, man. Fuck,
That's what we call in Jamaica crick neck.
that's something else, D-batch.
That's fucking weird.
All right, I don't. You can tell that story on your
Yeah.
next 50-minute video.
yeah, you can say that next time on Tesla Talks, you weird bitch.
Anyway, shout out to almost 1,300 people that showed up tonight, guys. We do appreciate you. Thanks for rocking out with us. We know we do dumb shit and say weird shit, and we just are lucky that even that many of you hang out with us. Again, seriously, we're blessed, as my good folk in the South will say. But you know what, D-Batch, tell people what you've been playing. Shut up. Tell people what you've been playing and when you're tuning into Z-Lots of Gaming.
It's
Mini lots. Yeah.
Oh,
Roll out.
man. I've been,
Uh,
I've been playing a lot of Jedi Survivor, loving that game. Was playing it before I got on the air, but playing it all day. Any chance I get, I'm just playing that game. I love the exploration, love the force powers, love the leveling up, love the level designs, love everything about the game. The combat, it's just so complete. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I think this might just be my favorite game of all time, man. I'm really, really enjoying
Oh,
it that
man.
much, man.
You
And
love
I'm
it.
a
I
huge
can tell you got through the benchmark.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and this really captures the whole essence of of Star Wars. It's like some of the best stuff out there. I think like this and the Mandarin are like the best thing that's come out of the Star Wars.
The
Mandalorian.
Mandarin
Yeah, sorry.
oranges.
Yeah, whatever. The Mandalorian. Those are the Mandarin Orange. That is a great show. Okay, the way he gets squeezed. But seriously, yeah, it's fantastic, man. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. You can find me on Twitter at D Batch, and of course on YouTube at D Batch. And yeah, it was a great show. I'm tired. I'm hungry, and I'm gonna go play some Star Wars. See you guys next week.
Yeah, it's like a 2.5-hour show. Again, like people want us to go for 4 hours. I'm like, how the fuck? I just don't see how it's even possible.
We gotta talk about mayonnaise, bitch.
Shit, come yourself some mayonnaise flop around. Zachary, speaking of mayonnaise, tell people where they can find you and of course what you've been playing.
You guys can find me at Zalker87 on YouTube, Zalker87 on Twitter, and this Thursday we're kicking off Zealots of Gaming with Hargeet and Shady at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And really looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, hopefully, and Hargeet comes in with the murderous rage that he had for a while. That motherfucker trends on Twitter more than anybody else I know. He doesn't even have one. So, yeah.
Which is crazy. Get a Twitter
Hargeet
buddy.
he doesn't need it. But I've been playing, honestly, I just beat Ragnarok. I've been playing a couple other little games. I've been playing Starship Troopers Extraction, which is an alpha on Steam. It's a first-person shooter, and it's a 16-player co-op where you're just fighting off bugs and doing a bunch of base building. It is so stupid fun, like so good, and it gets the aesthetic of Starship Troopers so down. It's just, I don't know, it's freaking awesome. And I can't wait to jump into Jedi. I'm waiting for the next patch because this patch fucked up everything. Like it messed up the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. The performance was worse. The textures were. It was just weird. Like it just went in reverse. They were like, "Nah, fuck you." So I'm gonna wait for the next patch and then jump into it on the long weekend because obviously we got Monday off. So I'm really looking forward to jumping into that. And yeah, I've also been. If you want to read some of the or consume some of the best Star Wars shit, read the books. Read the Thrawn trilogy. I'm on book 2 right now. That is the best Star Wars shit ever. More than the movies, more than anything. It is amazing how good that stuff is. It is epic. It's great. And it feels like Star Wars when you're reading it. It's just so good. It's insane. So check that shit out. But yeah, Thursday, keep an eye out for that. Really looking forward to it. And shout out to Sean LeBrie for doing a lot of the stuff in the background with me and getting all the, the Zealots of Gaming, kind of like artistic stuff down. He's fucking awesome. Show. But yeah, there you go.
Shout out to a regular fan. I think it's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Souza, as well as Ashtray. We got this fucking chat keeps moving. Diz, shout out to you, man. He likes the longer shows. A big shout out to you, Boba. How far are you in Jedi, Zachary?
Not far at all. I just got to the first planet. I
liking
stopped it because, no, it's amazing. I can already tell it's a different type of game when I played the first one, I really liked it, and this one improves on every single thing from like the 2 hours I've played.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped playing because I was like, I'm gonna beat Ragnarok first, and I'm gonna wait for patches. And I was just so far into Ragnarok, like if I don't beat it now, I'm just not gonna come to it. So I beat that, and then now it's Jedi time. But I just want the patches to actually hit, and I was gonna jump into it this past weekend, but then I saw everybody on social media like, don't play it. Like there's crashes on PC, crashes on Xbox, like it's all messed up everywhere. Like they just messed it up in the last patch apparently. And even my brother-in-law told me that, and he's almost done with the game. He has like 50 hours in it. And he was like, yeah, I had to like switch it to low settings. Like, that's how bad it is. And he's like, plus I've had like 2 or 3 crashes. I'm like, all right, never mind. I'm gonna wait.
So Umber's got like 5. How many days you got in it, Umber?
I got like 5 days and 5.
And he still ain't
hours.
finished it, according to Bushido.
Don't listen
I'm
to
just
Bushido.
kidding.
He's a detractor. Yeah, he's hating.
But y'all
No, I
got a beef
I'm
going on.
100%.
What's going on? What is the chicken?
He hates on me.
Because there's so much beef around here. You know, it's got to be legit. You two really hate each other, right?
Where's the beef? Yeah, the thing is, it's like he has like the people always say, "Oh, you sound like Bushido," or Bushido sounds like you, and I have to remind them, I am the smooth Jiffy. He's the peanut butter with the hard, crunchy peanuts in it, like the
oil
government.
and
The
shit
government.
Are you
issue.
saying?
He's the government
chunky?
version.
He's
Yeah,
super chunky.
exactly. He's the government.
Bushido,
wick
why are you letting this
version
man
they'll
slander
handle.
you right now?
That's all.
Look, I got to stick up for Bushido and say he's a gentleman.
Yo, which
and
one
a
y'all like,
scholar.
chunky or creamy peanut butter? Which one? Come on,
Anyway,
Gotta be creamy.
which trailer do you guys like?
creamy all day.
Shout out to Cerebral Butt Plug and everyone else in the chat.
What is it?
It's Cerebral. You probably know him. Cerebral Butt Plug. Umber, tell people what you've been playing and where can you find you, man. Thanks for coming on and guesting again, and it's always fun to have you.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to be here with you, gentlemen. Man, I beat Jedi Survivor, so D, I definitely get the feeling that you expressed and how you wanted to get back to it. I was the exact same way before I got and finished it. But yeah, I'm playing Dead Island 2, loving it. I beat it already actually, but I'm just getting all the achievements and stuff. Dope game. If you all haven't played that, definitely give it a look.
I bought that
And-
on Xbox actually. I actually
man.
started playing that too.
Hey, if you want to do some co-op, let me know, brother. I got you. Because I need to actually get those achievements for that too. Speaking of which, and Planet of Lana, I started that up. I got about an hour and a half, maybe, of that. It's pretty dope. I think they did a really good job with it. I'll give a full thought on it once I beat it. But other than that, yeah, you all can find me on Twitter, Infinite Umber or Umber Infinite. You will find me either way. And I just wanted to point out, by the way, much love to you, Hargeet and Shady, who I got much love for too, by the way. For the Zealots, is it Zealots of Gaming?
Z-Lots.
The Zealots.
Yeah, the Zealots gaming baby.
The Zealots. The Zealots with
He's
the
on the
regular
track with
tours.
Joe.
The
Yeah,
Zealots with the
baby.
regular tours. But listen, I was going to point out, not to throw shade at you all, but my show, The Fix, is on Thursdays at 7 o'clock Central, which is the exact same time you all go live.
Oh man.
Well,
So, yeah,
I remember
now
starting this show up, Umber, and it's unavoidable. Like people,
It
you just
is.
can't avoid it, and
There's nothing you can do. But
y'all can kiss though.
Hey Umber, you know what you just did? I'm gonna snap you
I-
out of existence.
I already know. I
Better
already
get
know.
ready. Fucking
Listen,
snap.
The first
Stupid.
thing I thought was I have to slander him and get him canceled now. There's nothing. There's no other way.
And that was the plan behind the last topic or two, huh?
Exactly.
Ah.
Finally, I have to break his back now. It is what it
You
is.
gotta spend. I'm coming after you now.
It can only be
I'm
one.
gonna actually come to your channel and be like, "Yo, we just started. Join us and link it in your chat." I don't give a fuck. It's dirty out
Umber,
here.
wait, it's gonna be the opposite. You're gonna bury these motherfuckers.
Man, look. No, I mean you all have obviously 3 great people in the community, so I expect you all to do numbers. So good luck to you guys going
Don't give
forward.
Shady that much credit. That piece of shit.
Hey, you know.
Listen, I tried to
Hey.
tell Shady, but he just wouldn't listen to me. Zalker's a piece of shit.
Everybody knows that.
Hey, shout out to those three though. Hargeet, Hargeet's podcast, Needless of Gaming, with Zalker on it, and Shady. They're all really nice people, and I hear Shady's, he's come along. He's even playing PlayStation games now.
Oh, he beat God of War, and I was kind of shocked. And then he kept talking about Zelda in a party for like 20 minutes, and he's like, I can't wait to play. It's gonna be so great. I'm like, who the fuck is this? What are you talking about? And apparently he loves it. So
He's gonna listen to the menu music for like
Yep.
an hour.
he told me he loves feet, and that's what Link does. He
Well, we
just
know
walks
that's
around
true.
barefoot.
Link also asks Hargeet what he's been playing and where can people find you.
Well, I've been playing Zelda on my PC. That's where you can find me.
Not emulated, of course.
And yeah, emulated. Of course, it is emulated.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
I said not emulated, of
It is.
course.
But yeah, and I hope everybody enjoyed episode 258 of Microsoft buys ABK.
Fuck.
World premiere exclusive.
World premiere.
What
exclusive
episode are we?
news.
I people keep track of how many podcast episodes there are, but I have no fucking idea.
I've only
Uh,
started counting once Colt left because that was just awesome.
Yeah, well, hey,
I'm
it's just fucking ashtray. Who else hasn't done an outro? I'm reading
No,
the
we all
chat.
have, I think.
Okay,
No, you're
B-Batch, you told us
You
your
got
channel.
How about you?
bit? What's that called? Bitcoin.
What have you
Express?
been playing, dealer?
Jedi Survivors, and I feel like I'm damn far. I got like 30 hours or so in this game already, and pretty much what I've been playing, and it's awesome. But I've been making the fantastic mistake of exploring for like an hour for no reason because I don't have the ability to get into a fucking thing I need to get into. But it has made it easier to then go back because there's some backtracking. You don't mind it as much because there's so much shit that you can then access when you get a new ability or whatever. The game just takes the simplest thing like an air dash and makes it feel like I just unlocked fucking flight or something. You know, like it's a substantial thing, even though it's so simple and every game has done it. They use it in a fantastically simple way, and it's rewarding.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, they actually hit that air dash in the Star Wars. What was that with the guy? What's his name? The one that was like Kenobi, Star Killer. He actually had that same move.
Why you got to bring Starkiller up? He's not even canon anymore.
I know, right? Yeah.
You bringing up the X. So shout out to Starkiller. He doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
But it was a cool name, really cool name. And you can find me on Twitter at dealer_gaming, ii_dealer_ii on Xbox Live. And shout out to everyone that showed up live to watch the show. And hit the like button. We have almost 500 likes on the show already, so that's quite a bit. We do appreciate everyone that supports what we do. Check out the links down below, and of course, let us know your thoughts. We're out.
Later, everybody.
Long ass show.
Spinal.
Final.